Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Cohn phone. Today is going to be a long Cohn phone. I'm going to try to take this all the way to noon because this is a huge story happening right now with the Niners. They traded up for the number 3 pick. What I want to do is go through my day after thoughts. Take me about 15 minutes. And then I'd love to hear all your day after thoughts. So call in, tell me what you think. I'll drop the link in about 15 minutes. Let me tell you what I'm thinking after sleeping on it. So I'm thinking, to me, the timing of the trade is interesting. Why now? They could have done it during the draft. They could have done it weeks ago, months ago. What is going on now? And I keep coming back to the fact that when the Niners traded up, the Eagles traded down. And the fact that the Niners were linked to Deshaun Watson and the Eagles were linked to Deshaun Watson. I think it's possible that the two teams most seriously contending for Watson were the Niners and the Eagles. And once the Watson thing blew up, that was plan A for both of those teams, I'm thinking. And then there was a race for plan B between the Niners and the Eagles. And I think it was clear that both of them were trying to trade up, I think. And the Niners beat them to it. The Niners traded up. And as soon as the Niners got their got their pick, the Eagles traded down. So I think they were both competing for Deshaun Watson. And then when that was off the table, they were both competing for whichever quarterback's going to go number 3 in this draft. And once the Eagles lost out, they're trading down because I guess in their mind, there's a big gap between the 3rd best quarterback and the 4th best quarterback. So to me, the way I read this is the Eagles forced the Niners' hands a little bit. The Niners may have felt that they could have waited on this or seen other options but they didn't. I think they felt if they waited any longer, the Eagles would trade up, take this guy, and the Niners would be forced to stay with Jimmy or trade for Sam Darnold or draft a quarterback they didn't really love. It seems clear that the Niners have decided there are 3 quarterbacks they really like in this draft. I don't know who those 3 are, but by getting the 3rd pick, they guarantee themselves that they get one of them. So I guess that makes them feel good. The Eagles must have felt the same way. 3 picks, 3 quarterbacks in this draft they really love. Since they can't get that number 3 pick, trade down. Maybe not even get a quarterback this year or get a quarterback later. So I think it's possible that this was a little dance going on between the Niners and Philadelphia. We'll see if I'm right. Now, moving on. There are basically 3 options here: Fields, Lance, Mac Jones. Let's start with Fields. I think Fields is the least likely. Fields seems to be who most 49er fans want. I don't think it's going to be who Kyle Shanahan wants. I've listened to Kyle Shanahan talk about quarterbacks for a long time. He wants a quarterback who doesn't have to constantly go to quarterback gurus and work on their passing mechanics. Wow. Oh, my God. I'm giving you $100 to stop talking about Deshaun. He ain't coming to the Niners. Okay, for you, I'll stop. Thank you. I'll leave that one up because it was such a nice gift. What was I talking about? Yeah. So Justin Fields. He has all the athletic ability in the world. He's big, he's fast, he has a strong arm. He's not a natural thrower. He has a long release. He's inconsistent with his accuracy on short throws. He needs to work on his mechanics. It's not the kind of guy Kyle likes. Also, he's not a quick decision maker. He goes through his progressions slowly. He finds the right receiver to throw to slowly. He makes up his mind on where to go with the ball painfully slowly. And that's Jimmy. Kyle doesn't have patience for slow decision makers. He doesn't. He wants guys who know where to go with the ball by the time they hit the top of their drop. And that's not freaking Justin Fields. Justin Fields is, drop back, stare at a guy, stare at a guy, stare at a guy. If he's not open, okay, scan the entire field, look for a guy, maybe run to the left, buy some time, maybe run back to the right, buy some time. Not Kyle's kind of quarterback. Could end up being really good. I just would be freaking shocked if the Niners took Justin Fields at number 3. I think here, Gil Brandt was the general manager of the Cowboys forever. He's on Twitter. He said he likes Justin Fields, ranks him 8th this year in the draft among all players. But he said some teams rank him in the 4th round, give him a 4th round grade. Some teams really don't like Justin Fields. And you know what? I would wager that the Niners are one of those teams. He is not what they're looking for. He's a spread offense guy with a slow release. He's inaccurate on the short, quick passes, which are like 50% of the Niners passing game. Slow decision maker, indecisive. No, I don't think that's Kyle's kind of quarterback. Could be wrong. He has all the physical gifts. And if he turns out to be a more adept with the mental side of the game, he could be great. But to me, he looks remedial on the mental side of the game. He's got it all physically, remedial mentally. Also needs mechanical issues, mechanical adjustments. I don't think they're going to take Justin Fields. I'd be surprised. I know people think, well, he's got a high upside. He's also got bust written all over him. No Ohio State quarterback has ever worked out. And it's not that necessarily it's their fault. It's that Ohio State doesn't develop quarterbacks. And their system creates guys who have like 50 touchdown passes and they win Heismans and they look great, but it's not translatable to the NFL. So I'd be surprised if it's Justin Fields. Let's talk Mac Jones. Mac Jones yesterday was the guy I thought my mind went to right away. They're going to trade up. They're trading up for Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones is the best of the three here. I think he's better than Justin Fields. He's decisive. He knows where to go with the ball. He's accurate. I think he's better than Trey Lance. Trey Lance is inexperienced. Talk about him in a minute. But look, I like Mac Jones, but trading 3 first-round picks to move up in the draft for Mac Jones. 3 first-round picks for Mac Jones. I mean, look, how can anyone like Mac Jones that much? He's not big. He's not particularly athletic. He's not an athlete. He's just not a natural athlete. He's a quarterback, a trained quarterback, not an athlete. And the thing that I think Kyle may not like about him is I saw a stat that they hardly ever rolled him out of the pocket at Alabama. His entire time at Alabama, I think he threw 21 passes outside the pocket and completed 12 of them, had a pick. His quarterback rating wasn't high at all. Kyle Shanahan and his dad are looking for guys who roll out and throw well on the run. That's a big part of their offense. And it's not really Mac Jones. Also, he played on an all-star team in college. Is he really that much better than Josh Rosen? That's what I keep coming back to. Is he really that much better than Josh Rosen? Is he worth 3 first-round picks plus a third? I'm not sure. I think if you put Mac Jones on the same field with Josh Rosen, Rosen's going to be the one who looks more physically gifted. It's going to have the stronger arm, the quicker release. It's going to be bigger. Now, I don't know if Josh Rosen can match Mac Jones' work ethic, but I don't know that he can't. I don't know. Let's see it. So the more I think about it, I have a tough time seeing a trade up like that for Mac Jones. Could they take Mac Jones at 12 had they stayed? Sure. But all these assets to move up for a guy whose upside and ceiling and is what? What's he going to be? Best case scenario. Not an athlete. He doesn't make much happen outside the pocket, outside of structure. Is he Tom Brady? I don't think so. Is he going to be that kind of great pocket quarterback who never moves? I don't know. I just feel like trading up all those, trading all those assets, moving that far for a guy who looks like Jimmy or like CJ, it's not necessarily a lock. It's possible they don't go that route. Mac Jones at 3. And who's to say Mac Jones wouldn't have been available at 12? I'm not sure exactly how NFL teams see him. If Kyle drafts a complete bust, will he be fired? Yeah, that's how this works. That's why I think it's pretty cool that they finally put themselves on the line. If you get this right, they'll win a Super Bowl. If they get this wrong, they just fired themselves. And I think that's why it took them so long to finally make a move for a quarterback, because you're really putting yourself out there. This is your choice. So the Mac Jones thing, it seems less likely than I thought yesterday, even though I do think he's better than the other options. Trading up to 3 for Mac Jones, trading all those assets for Mac Jones. I don't like Mac Jones that much. I mean, I don't even like Mac Jones as much as Kellen Mond. And I wouldn't trade up for Kellen Mond. So why would you trade up for Mac Jones? I don't know. I just don't think, even if he's good, can he justify that trade? Even if he's good, will he ever be as good as Matthew Stafford or Russell Wilson or Kyler Murray? What did you really get? A slight upgrade over Jimmy Garoppolo, who's cheaper? Great, but you didn't need to trade up that far and give up half a decade's worth of first-round picks to get it. I question whether they're moving up for Mac Jones. It seems like this is a swing for the fences. And that brings me to Trey Lance. A couple of days ago, I came on here and was like, guys, I've had an epiphany. This is their guy at 12. At 12. I mean, just watch him. He's under center. He's really comfortable in play action. He turns his back to the defense a lot. He's really comfortable throwing on the run, rolling left and rolling right. He's tough. Look at him run. This is a Kyle Shanahan and Mike Shanahan type of quarterback, even though he's inexperienced, has no reps, missed a season. Really a tough evaluation. Might be the worst quarterback in the draft. I mean, he could be a total flat out mirage bust. I think that this is the kind of guy that the Shanahans would gamble on. Not the kind of guy who played his offense, who played his college ball and a gimmick college offense. This is a guy who is under center, doing things he'd be doing on the 49ers, turning his back to the defense, rolling out left and right. So is it possible they take Trey Lance? Yeah. This is what Gil Brandt thinks they're going to do. He said, he thinks, first of all, he ranks Lance ahead of Fields. I do as well. I just don't like Fields. I think Fields is going to be a flat out bust. Maybe this Lance will be a bust too. But I think he's got a quicker release, and I think he's a quicker decision maker. And I think he has less bad habits than Justin Fields. He's more of a blank slate. Now, if they trade up to number 3 for Trey Lance, that would explain why they're keeping Jimmy Garoppolo, because Trey Lance isn't ready to play right away. Trey Lance needs a year on the bench. They would need a bridge quarterback, and Jimmy Garoppolo is the best one they can get in terms of giving them an ability to win games. So that would make sense. If you're looking at, well, the Niners probably going to keep Jimmy Garoppolo one more year. Why? Maybe to let Trey Lance develop. Now, the problem with this is if they take Trey Lance, they're convincing themselves that he's Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen. And here's the thing about Trey Lance. He ain't freaking Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes. Best case scenario, he'll be someone way worse than those two. You look at his physical gifts, he's big, he's fast, he has a strong arm. You think, well, he might be the next Josh Allen. No, he's not the next Josh Allen. I guarantee that. He might end up being a good quarterback, but if that's the expectation for Trey Lance, he's going to be a huge disappointment for the 49ers. But I'm starting to think that this is what they're looking at, that they see Trey Lance and they see a guy who can become Josh Allen on the 49ers. It's Kyle saying, you know what? He looks enough like Josh Allen. You put him on my team, give him a year on the bench, give him George Kittle and Brandon Ayuk and some wide open receivers in my play action offense. He'll be great. Now, to me, that's pride. That's hubris. But maybe he's right. A lot of people like Trey Lance. From what I've seen, I think that guy is going to get a coach fired. And it's just too bad if it's going to be Kyle. But at the same time, maybe Trey Lance is the kind of guy who, has like a 10% chance to work out as an elite quarterback. And that 10% chance is on a team with like the Niners, with a really good offensive coach and a really good supporting cast. Maybe that's possible. But I think they're going to swing for the fences here. Mac Jones would be the safer play. Hard to justify giving up 3 first-round picks for Mac Jones. You can justify it for Trey Lance and say he is the next Josh Allen. He's going to be worth so much. He's going to be such a great player. Well, that's what he's got to be. If they take Trey Lance, he's got to end up being Josh Allen, someone who's in the MVP conversation by year 3. And if he's not, if he's worse than Jimmy, if Jimmy goes back to New England and freaking Trey Lance is over here one-hopping quick outs and missing wide open receivers, then Kyle's going to get fired. But I do think that the likelihood of them taking Trey Lance is pretty high. I see Eric Crocker in there. What's up, Eric? I know Eric is leading the Justin Fields brigade. Eric, I think you're going to be disappointed. I'd love to know. I know you like Justin Fields, and I like Justin Fields in certain ways. I think he'd be good in certain offenses, but do you really think Kyle's going to take Justin Fields? I mean, really? He complains about Jimmy Garoppolo being a slow decision maker. I mean, I don't see it, but I'm always wrong with the 49ers, so we'll see. Hold on. I'm trying to answer more questions. Wait. The last time the Niners picked at 3 was a huge mistake. Mac Jones would be our Solomon Thomas 2.0 moment. I think Mac Jones is better than that. I do think Mac Jones is pretty good. I just don't think he's worth that kind of a trade up. I never would have traded up for Mac. Just why? Trade down for Kellen Mond. Don't trade up for Mac Jones. But some people might really like him. People who say Mac Jones remind me of folks saying Trubisky was the guy over Mahomes and Watson. Those who thought that, I don't want picking my quarterback. Yeah, but again, if you think Fields or Lance is going to end up being Mahomes or Watson, I think you're going to be disappointed. Those guys are rare. Mahomes and Watsons don't come out every year. This is why I think Trey Lance, Justin Fields is going to get someone fired, because you're like, it's like drunk goggles at 2 a.m. at the bar. You want it to be something it's not. They're not Mahomes and Watson, but they're going to get drafted like they are, because it's 2 a.m. and the bar's about to close. And what else are you going to do? Jade Riley again says, why is Jimmy hanging with Shanahan? He can be the automatic starter for the Patriots, but instead he's going to stay and either get benched or injured. What can he do? He signed a contract. He's under contract. He can request a trade, but that doesn't really seem to be his personality. He wants to be like the team guy he's also a captain. You can't really do things like that. I think it would look bad. He just has to kind of be the good soldier and sweat it out and wait, or privately request a trade behind closed doors. I'm not sure what his plan is, but it's humiliating. Do you think you can do you think you can retweet my article on Fields versus Lance? I think that explains a lot. Yeah. Email it to me, grantcohn@gmail.com. One more, and then I'll get back to my last thing, and then two more, and then we'll take some questions. Last time Shanahan traded up, it was a similar package from 6-2, and they took RG3. It's Fields or Lance, 100%. Yeah, but RG3 was a owner pick. They didn't want RG3. Kyle and Mike did not want RG3. They were forced to draft RG3, and Kyle, his bargain was, well, you have to let me draft Kirk Cousins too, because Kirk Cousins is better. That's what happened. And he was right. Okay, one more. Why didn't they just wait for Sam Howell? Maybe they didn't think he's that good. A lot of people don't think the quarterbacks next year are that good. I don't know that much about Sam Howell. So one more topic. Was this a panic move? I know yesterday it was really exciting. They made a move. Everyone's really happy. Let's take a sober look at this. Was this a good move? 3 first-round picks. They traded 3 first-round picks and a third. And they're not getting Trevor Lawrence. They're not getting Deshaun Watson. To me, this was the package they would have been offering for Deshaun Watson. 3 firsts and a third. That's a lot. And you can justify it for a player you know is really good. But 3 firsts and a third for the opportunity to draft the third quarterback in the draft. For the opportunity to take a quarterback from Alabama or BYU or Ohio State or North Dakota State. What if all 4 of them aren't good? What if the answer is none of them should be picked? What if they're all going to be overdrafted? It's possible. The only quarterback I'm really, really confident about in this draft is Trevor Lawrence, and the Niners aren't getting him. So is it possible the Niners looked at their options and were like, man, we wanted Watson, but that's off the table. We waited too long, can't get Stafford. We don't like the quarterbacks next year or the year after that. If we don't make a move up and get this guy at 3, what are our alternatives? So my question to you guys when we come on the Cohn phone is, was this a panic move? Was this a bad decision? Did they lose this trade? Is this a great day for the Dolphins? I mean, the Dolphins aren't going to be taking a quarterback. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll take a quarterback later on in round 1. But they just got, a lot of first-round picks. This might be the move that sets up Miami to make a Super Bowl run the next few years. They're a good team. Was this the right move? And how good does this quarterback have to be for this move to pay off? All right, that's all that's on my mind. Let's take some calls. Boom, that's that. And it's going to be in the comments, in the description now. All right, thanks for listening. And I will take your calls for the next 2 hours if I can. Oh, there was someone left a little thing. Hold on. Fields is the only quarterback in the COVID era they actually know the mental of. They pulled the trigger after Wilson Pro Day. Is Wilson their number 3? I don't know. I don't think Wilson's going to make it to number 3. I think Wilson's going to go number 2. All right. Again, please, no cursing, and try to keep it to 5 minutes tops, because you got a lot of people that want to talk, and I'd like to get everyone a fair chance. So let's get right into it. Hey, Thomas.
Hey, Grant. I think you might remember I was on here last time and I was talking about how we should get Trey Lance because he's going to be a developmental, and then the NFC quarterbacks are kind of going downhill. So you know who I'm rooting for. But my first thought is they were saying that we're doing this trade for what, like 3 weeks? We were trying to move up.
Yes.
Wasn't that?
Yes.
So everyone's saying it's a smokescreen that we didn't go to Mac Jones's pro day. Everyone knew Kyle liked Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Like, that was the most obvious choice, was Kyle's going to choose Mac Jones. Kyle likes Mac Jones. So why? And if you're planning on moving up to 3, why are you don't need a smokescreen. Right?
Yeah.
And I think almost the same thing about Trey Lance. If you're planning on moving up that high, you don't need a smokescreen. The only thing I can think about Trey Lance is people wouldn't have initially linked Kyle to Trey Lance. So maybe he wanted to like keep it on the under wraps, and then his pro day happened and everyone said, oh, Falcons are going to take him at 4. Falcons are going to take him at 4. And he's like, okay, we have to get ahead of the Falcons.
Okay.
But even that, like, it makes me wonder, because if you're putting 3 first-round picks, this is your entire career. This is your legacy.
The whole thing. Yeah, it's everything.
For John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, are you going to put your entire career on someone that you haven't seen throw in person?
Well, I mean, I'm sure they've seen him throw in person, but they didn't go to the pro day. It's a good question. Well, so and it's interesting that
in person though, if he would like, because during our season is when he was playing. Like, it's not like they could have gone to any of his games.
Yeah, Kyle hasn't. Yeah, that's true.
And like, this is Kyle's life now. At this point, this is his whole reputation. So it's hard for me to think. I think,
and it's interesting they pulled off the trade the day they were at Zach Wilson's pro day.
That's my first thought. Is the only pro day they've gone to is Zach Wilson's, and John Lynch is sitting there with Robert Saleh the entire time.
Yep.
Potentially they have some kind of thing that they're talking about. They know what the Jets are going to do. And then I just think it's going to be interesting. See if they're at Ohio State's pro day. Like, because you don't make this trade if you never see him in person. And then Alabama's going to have their second pro day, and it's going to be the same day as Ohio State's. Oh. Which one do they go to?
Oh, that's very, very.
If one of them goes to one of them goes to the other, which one does Kyle go to?
So what do you think they're going to do?
I think we'll know by Tuesday.
Where they go?
It's whichever pro day they show up at. Yeah. Like, I think it's Zach Wilson is number 1, and whoever's pro day they show up at on Tuesday that's the backup option.
Yeah.
There's no way you put your entire reputation on someone if you have not seen him throw in person, because it's different. It is different. The way the ball comes out of someone's hand, and you can see it when you're standing next to them on the field. You can hear it. You can see the pop. Like, it is a very different experience than watching it on TV.
And so you're saying that you don't think they're going to take Trey Lance?
I would love for them to take Trey Lance. The only reason I could think they would take Trey Lance, right, is if Kyle was trying to put up a smokescreen and then realized after the pro day, he realized after the pro day that this isn't going to work. Everyone likes him now. But why put up a smokescreen for Mac Jones? Everyone knows Kyle likes Mac Jones. Like, they're like, Mac Jones is Kirk Cousins. And then everyone's like, oh, cool. Look at Kyle likes him. So not going to the pro day. And then it's Alabama too. If you go to Alabama's pro day, you could have been scouting Surtain. You could have been scouting any of the receivers. Like, there's a lot of people. If you go to NDSU's pro day, you're going to see Trey Lance.
True.
They have one other guy. They have like Dylan Radins, who's like a second round tackle, but so
true. It would have been a huge story.
Not going to the Alabama pro day is very weird for me. So I think, whoever's pro day they go to on Tuesday is it. And then potentially maybe Trey Lance is somewhere in the mix if they were trying to keep it under wraps, but I think Tuesday we'll know. It's Ohio State or Alabama, whichever one they go to. That's the quarterback that's number 2. But Zach Wilson is 100% quarterback number 1. Because I don't know if you saw the Peter King interview with Zach Wilson. Did you see that one?
No.
Ooh. So that's interesting, because if you've ever seen the interview with Kyle and Matt Ryan talking about like a play in the Super Bowl, I believe it was, when Matt Ryan goes back and he like lists like a 17-word long play call. And he's like, oh yeah, we did this on like 3rd and 2. And he's like, it's 17 words. And Kyle's like, no, actually it was like, he got one word wrong. Kyle's like, no, actually it's right, or whatever. So Kyle likes his guys being really smart. Peter King asked Zach Wilson about the Coastal Carolina game. And he was like, so when you threw this like 60-yard bomb, like what was going through your head? And he said the exact play call where he was like, there are a couple options. Like it was an RPO. I saw the safety shading to the left. Like he went through every position on the defense. He said exactly what they were doing before this play call, before this play, and how he reacted to that. Like he could recall the play like photographic memory. It was insane. And I think if Kyle heard that, he was like, ooh, I like that. You know, a guy that can do that, that's Kyle's guy.
Very interesting. Thomas, I'll be looking for that pro day stuff on Tuesday. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, have a good one.
Hey, Ken.
Hey, man. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Not too bad. Pretty exciting over the past 24 hours, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of like it. I like the fact that they're so aggressive, right? I think the last time we talked about them going out and getting their guy, right? I don't think they're done, right? If you're going to shoot your shot, why are you going to wait for the second best quarterback in the draft, right?
Yeah.
The Patriots want Jimmy. Trade him, package him, get 16th pick, right? Package 16th and the 3rd maybe to get what the Jacksonville Jaguars have, right?
Wow.
There's also the possibility where they're talking with about trading for Gardner Minshew. That's been going on for about a week now. Is there any kind of subtleties that going on there that they may package the 3rd and some players or some picks for Gardner Minshew and maybe the 1st? Right? If you're going to shoot your shot, do it. Right?
Yep.
Because this is Colin John's legacy now. Right?
Yep.
Because if they get this wrong, right, John Lynch is now a broadcaster that failed as a GM, and Kyle Shanahan, at best, is a good play designer, not a good head coach.
Right.
Right? So that's where we're coming into it. So if you're going to shoot your shot, shoot it. Don't fool around with it. Don't take the second best quarterback in the draft unless he believes what Chris Sims believes and Zach Wilson's better than Trevor Lawrence, which I think is absolutely nuts. Right? But the other thing is Mac Jones. I keep hearing this talk about Mac Jones. Look at what happened yesterday, and that should tell you everything that you need to know about Mac Jones. Philadelphia went to his pro day. Right? And decided to trade back to the 12th pick.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
It's a bad sign.
Stay with Jalen Hurts. We're good.
Yeah.
We saw all we needed to see.
Yeah.
And Miami was like, yeah, we'll stick with Tua. Maybe everybody forgets that Mac Jones backed those guys up. Right?
True.
At Alabama.
True.
And as much as everybody talks about the Buckeyes, there's no Buckeyes quarterback that's ever succeeded. Not really any Alabama quarterback has succeeded since like Joe Namath or something like back in the 60s.
Yeah.
Right. So there are some schools that just develop quarterbacks better than others. Right.
That's true.
Right. And Alabama is realistically very close to an NFL team that plays against college teams. Look at that Thursday night game when Green Bay played San Francisco and we had a bunch of third stringers in there. And we got smoked badly, right? That's what happens.
Yeah.
Mac Jones is going to be a serviceable backup at best. He's going to get someone fired, right?
Yes. So, hey, that's what Tua is. That's what Tua is.
You know what? Miami did this trade because they want Watson.
Yep.
Right? They have, I think it's like 14 picks in the first 3 rounds over the next 3 years. Like, is that they got all
so the Niners, they can take the Niners picks, wait, and then get Watson.
Yeah, they're going to let this blow over. We'll see if Tua develops anymore. If not, we'll go and get Watson.
Brilliant. Right? So do you like this move? Not until they get Trevor Lawrence, basically.
No, I'm not sold on Zach Wilson. I'm not saying one-hit wonders can't happen. I think Joe Burrow is a stud.
Yeah.
There's lots of guys that have one good year, and they grow into – these are kids, right? Everybody forgets that these are kids. Yeah. Right? They're going to grow into their own. I watched Zach Wilson's pro day. He is small and soft, like physically, like he's not jacked, right?
No. No.
In a division, like we're in an arms race in the NFC West.
Yes.
Aaron Donald, Chandler Jones is going to be back, J.J. Watt, Bobby Wagner. And then you look at the quarterbacks, like he's going to be under fire badly. And do I think he hasn't grown like really into his man bones yet? Like he's still like he looks like a kid, right? My wife saw him yesterday. She was like, "How old is he?" And I'm like, "Yeah, he's like 23.
He's 12.
Like that." Yeah, he
12.
looks like he's 12, right? Like, like when
Yeah.
we shave, we don't even look that young, right?
No,
Like, so,
no.
I'm not saying that he's going to be a bust, but yesterday, I think everybody clapped at some of the sloppy throws and stuff. And yeah, there's going to be jitters. He's still a kid. I get it. And I'm not saying that he's going to be a bust or not, but realistically, I agree with you 100%. There's only one surefire quarterback in this draft.
Go get him.
And everybody, like, stop trying to poke holes for everything and trying to be the guy that gets the hot take, right?
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence was the highest rated quarterback at a high school ever.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Went to college, won a national title as a rookie. He's had 4 really, really good years. They're like, oh, three really good years. You're like, oh, well, he's this year wasn't as good as that year and all this stuff. Like, listen. You're apples and oranges. Like, this kid's a stud. He looks like a stud. I think he's like 6'5", close to 240. Like, when you look like you're going to be that role, and you have all the tools, he's been in all the big games. Nothing really shakes him or anything like that. So I can't see anything else about it, right? Everybody else in the draft are like, oh, well, Mac Jones is an athletic. Trey Lance is this. Kellen Mond doesn't have an arm, whatever, right? Like, everybody's got their own little take on every player. But realistically, Trevor Lawrence, everybody's reaching, trying to find something wrong with him, right? And when you get to do that, you know that that's the guy, right?
Yep. Ken, I got to take the next call. Thank you so
man.
much. I'm with you. If they can go out and get Trevor Lawrence, that's an A+. Thank you a lot.
Absolutely.
Good stuff,
Have
man.
a good one, brother.
What's up, dude?
What's up?
How you doing, man?
Good. So first thing, bless the Lord they got a cornerback. Thank the Lord, dude. We needed one. And
You been praying?
so now I want to talk about, like, I love this situation and hate it at the same time.
Why?
I feel like trying to get the quarterback is great, and I 100% agree with it. 3 first-rounders and a third.
It's a lot.
You could get Watson with that.
You could get Watson for that. Yeah,
you could get Watson with that.
Yeah.
And Miami played everybody with what they did, because they can now get Watson. They could draft somebody if they wanted to, which I wouldn't. So they just played absolutely everybody.
You could argue they won this trade.
Yeah, they
Unless the Niners get some great quarterback at 3. I don't know who that is.
I mean, I am not a big fan of anybody in this draft. I think Mac Jones, I wouldn't trade up for a guy who's supposed to be so much farther. We could have probably gotten him at 12.
Yes.
I wouldn't have traded up this far for Mac Jones.
Plus, Zach Wilson looks younger than you.
Yes, sir.
He does. Yeah, exactly.
You don't have enough on him as you would think, because he didn't play one real game until they played like Coastal Carolina or something. They never played one real game. And if he comes and plays for us, as the last guy said, he's going to become Jared Goff, just weak.
Yeah.
Small build.
Yeah.
And that's not going to deal with all the pass rushers. So I could see them either trading up for Trevor Lawrence or something, but they'd have to trade a lot more. Or they could go get somebody like Fields or Lance. But I just don't get why you would trade this far up.
I like what the last caller said. Are they trading up are they going to make one more move up? Because I just don't see how any quarterback at pick 3 is worth this. I think they're not done.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless they think Trey Lance is great.
I feel like the only good pick there would be Penei Sewell, but I wouldn't give up that much for him.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm curious to see what the next move is, if there is one, because you can't trade 3 firsts for Mac Jones, can you?
No.
I mean, you could take him at 12 maybe, but 3 firsts for Mac Jones? Is he that good? I don't think so.
And it's going to be a rude awakening for him in this division, because he's in Alabama. He's got that little pocket to himself. He's got time, his sweet time, and then he comes to San Francisco, where
Good luck, dude. Hey, give Nick Mullins a call and ask how that's gonna go.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah. Hey, man, great call, man. Thanks for coming on.
Oh, can I tell you one last thing?
Of course.
My first call, you said hell would freeze over before we traded up for a pick for a quarterback.
Dang, what did you say? That's what they should do?
No, I said Kellen Mond. I didn't.
Hey, hell would freeze over. Well, I guess you see how much stock you should put into the things I say. Hey, thanks for reminding me. Good stuff, man. Have a great Saturday.
You too.
All right, man. God, he got me on that one. Gary says Niners won't settle for less than Zach Wilson, who fits our scheme and wants to play for us. He can make the hard throws, scramble, and make reads. Yeah, but what if the Jets take him? That's not really up to them. Michael, what do you think of this development?
It is up to them. Corey Davis that they just signed, the Jets told him, and that was part of the deal, that they are keeping Sam Darnold.
Okay.
There's too many ex-Niner coaches and players and people and stuff at the Jets for the Niners not to do this trade knowing that he's going to be there.
You think the Jets are going to take a non-quarterback with the second pick?
Correct.
Why? Couldn't they trade down and take Penei Sewell?
No, because he's not going to get past Atlanta or Cincinnati.
So you think that the Niners went to the BYU Pro Day, got a little intel that the Jets were not going to take him, and they were like, pull the trigger. Pull the trigger.
Have you watched the Pro Day?
Have I watched Zach Wilson's Pro Day? Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see Daddy was there? Cal's daddy?
Oh, he was? Oh, wow.
I spotted him in the crowd.
Oh, wow. Mike was there.
There's no reason for him to be there if that ain't the pick.
Oh, wow. Good eye.
Watch it again, and you will see him in the background shot on one of the shots. He's there.
You're saying that the Jets are going to just gift wrap Zach Wilson to the 49ers?
Sam Darnold's not a bad quarterback. He's never had any protection. He's never had any playmakers around him. You don't tell Corey Davis, your big signing, yes, we're keeping Sam Darnold. That's your quarterback coming in, and that's why he's going to sign, and then turn around and lie to him. Because who else are you going to get next year in free agency and the year after and the year after if you keep lying to your free agents?
Yeah, hey, that's a good point. If the Niners can get Zach Wilson, that would be interesting because I don't think really many
that
fans
will
here
be the
expect
pick, and I will bet
that will
on
be the pick. You'll bet on
that.
it.
Will be the pick.
All right. Hey, well, hey.
I mean, I told you over 3 weeks ago we were moving up.
You did.
I told you over 4 weeks ago
you did.
That our quarterback Jimmy G was gone. He ain't gone yet. But when John Lynch says, yeah, he's our future and our future plans and all that. Oh, but, give us a call because we're taking calls.
Yeah, we're taking calls.
You know what that means.
Exactly.
We're not going to give him away. We don't need it. We got cap. We got everything. We don't need to trade him. But please give us a damn call.
Please give us a call right now. Okay, hey, that's a bold prediction. I'm not saying you're wrong.
It's coming true.
Zach Wilson at 3. Zach Wilson at 3.
I did tell you who was my number one quarterback 2 weeks ago.
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson.
Well, today must be a great day for you. You must be happy.
It is. I'm excited. I know it's the cards are falling in line. My prayers have come true. And we're going to win games. And I'm telling you, I don't care that he played low schools and stuff. Patrick Mahomes played small schools. What'd he turn out to be? Everybody could say, well, this class ain't that good. There ain't really but one first rounder in this class or whatever. Tell that to Joe Montana, who was drafted in the 3rd round, or Tom Brady in the 6th round or 7th round or 6th round it was. It happens.
I got to go back and watch the Pro Day and find Mike Shanahan in the crowd. That is the clincher.
If it ain't him, it's his twin. It's his twin if it ain't him.
People don't understand that Mike Shanahan is like basically more powerful than John Lynch in the organization. Mike Shanahan's opinion carries so much more weight than John Lynch's.
If I can go back and watch it and catch it, I will take a photo snapshot of it and somehow get it to you.
Gold. Thank you so much, Michael.
All right. Appreciate it. I'm going to barbecue and enjoy it.
Have a great time, man. This dude found freaking Waldo in the crowd. That's amazing. Waruna, how are you doing?
Hi, doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Okay.
I'm doing great. A lot to talk about.
Your KTU, the TV show. Sorry.
Oh, you saw it?
No, I just missed it by 5 minutes.
Oh, it's okay. It's all right.
Okay.
I'll be back another time.
So let's take this scenario from the perspective of the quarterback, whoever is going to be drafted, from his perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
So first thing is, he's going to be, his price tag would be 3 first-round picks.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Now he is coming here. Then Jimmy will probably start as the bridge quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Now, once, let's say, one interception, even one quarter bad play,
yep,
all the Jimmy fans, without blinking of an eye, they will turn against him. Put the new guy in.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, immediately. If not before then. We could be one bad training camp practice.
Yes. Okay. So now what happens? Off-season, 49ers were always grabbing pieces, indicating that they are going to go for Super Bowl.
Yes.
The media, fan base, everyone is saying Niners are just one good quarterback away from being a Super Bowl contender. Now, can a rookie quarterback live up to that expectation? The moment he fails in one game, what would Kyle say? Kyle would be like, oh,
yeah,
I spent 3 picks. This guy is not up to the expectation.
Right.
Now, many of them saying that this would be the lifeline for Kyle and John Lynch, but I disagree. This quarterback would be their scapegoat. They would sacrifice this guy. The reason is this, because now, they are getting blamed over and over again, not drafting a quarterback in 2017, not trading with Patriots for Tom Brady. Now they can say, okay, we invested so much, we drafted quarterback, we did everything that we could do, but this guy didn't work. Okay, we'll get rid of this guy and we'll keep our job.
Yeah, I don't think, dude, if they, after this, if it doesn't work out, Jed York would finally have to lose his patience. You passed on Mahomes, you didn't want Tom Brady, you made this move, this is who you wanted, it didn't work out. I don't trust you anymore.
Yes, again, I have a counter argument for that. Jed York is still 40. He's not matured enough to run an NFL organization. And remember, if you listen to what Juice checks the media interview after he got signed. What did he say? Kyle phoned me and he congratulated me. After that, John Lynch called me. He was at the Jet York's birthday party. Everyone passed the phone around, congratulated me. Do you think Jason Verrett got that same treatment?
No.
Fred Warner, will he ever going to get the same treatment?
I don't know.
Yeah, Jed York is just playing favorites. Kyle Shanahan is his favorite.
Yeah, true. That's he's not going to get rid of Kyle Shanahan. So
yes,
this is the next scapegoat. That makes sense.
So this guy has to be really careful. Whoever is coming, in just a moment, it's a matter of time, he would be sacrificed and would be out in the NFL forever.
That's bleak, but you're probably right. Aruna, it's always a pleasure to see you, man. Have a great day.
Okay.
Take care. What's up, Ryan?
How's it going, Grant?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. So I guess I'll take a quick break from everybody freaking out over the draft pick. My question's not really about that.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you saw this morning, but the Niners made a massive move and finally gained that free agent receiver we all wanted, Mohamed Sanu. Apparently, he's re-signing with us.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I didn't even see that. Mohamed Sanu, man.
So my question goes with the receiving core, because I feel like that's something that Niners missed with Sanders. So I've got 3 guys here who have only missed a few games in their career from injury. Who do you think would be the best guy for the Niners to pick up who's still a free agent?
Okay.
Cordell Patterson, Keelan Cole from the Jaguars, been there 3-4 years, and then Antonio Brown. Those are the 3 guys I found that they don't have a bad injury history. They've been able to put up decent numbers. They're veterans. Out of those three,
I think there's only one quarterback that Antonio Brown respects enough to be professional around, and that's Tom Brady. So no on Antonio Brown. Keelan Cole is cool, but it seems like by signing Mohamed Sanu, the Niners have sort of found a replacement for that Kendrick Bourne slot receiver kind of guy, possession guy. So the guy I'm interested in still is Cordero Patterson. I think he's a really good backup for Deebo Samuel. They need a good backup for Deebo Samuel. Also, they need an improvement in special teams. I think Cordero Patterson is great and would actually have a bigger impact on the team than Mohamed Sanu.
Yeah,
I'm checking this to see that they actually signed Mohamed Sanu, dude. Are you serious? Oh my God. Okay, so the thing with Sanu is he's probably just a camp body, and he'll compete with Juwan Jennings, and they'll draft another guy. And I don't expect Sanu to make the team, but he's got experience, and if no young guy steps up, then he just may make it by default.
That's true. That's true.
Sweet. Well, thanks for alerting me to that breaking news. I'm supposed to know that stuff.
No, it's all good, man. And this, yeah.
That's have a good one, Ryan. Appreciate you. Take care. Paul Finley says, "What's with all these?" Oh, hold on. Campa V says, "Trade Fred Warner in this year's second round pick to the Jets for the number 2 overall. Trade Jimmy G to the Patriots for the 3rd pick." Thoughts? Really, just throwing away all your assets for like 1 or 2. What's with all these glowing reviews of Trey Lance, Sims, and more? I don't know, man. He didn't play last year, so you can't really. It's hard to nitpick. There's not a lot of bad tape. One more. Hold on. Leo Chris says, "Whoever the Niners draft will be stepping into an offense with more weapons than 90% of NFL teams. There have probably been 2 teams in all of NFL history to produce that. Mike coached Joe Montana and John Elway. He knows. Mike did not coach Joe Montana. Mike coached Steve Young and John Elway. But very interesting. I think, Leo, to your point, any optimism around Trey Lance on the Niners would be that, hey, maybe he's a project, but on the Niners, he'd be in an environment where he can succeed. Now, you'd think the same thing would have been true for Jimmy Garoppolo. It didn't work out that way. Leo, I appreciate your donation. Niner Empire, are you there? Are you in your mail truck?
Yo,
what's up? Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
Question for me is, do you really think trading up that you wouldn't go after Zach Wilson unless the Jets have already let you know that they're not taking the quarterback?
You think that's what happened? That they were that they talked to the Jets at the pro day and they're like, could you tell us? And they're like, go for it.
Solid, that's his boy. I mean, come on. You think about it. You gave me our first job. I'm going to look out for you. Hey, look, we're not taking the quarterback. You need to find a way up to the 3rd. We probably going to take the lineman, Pursue, because he needs protection. Because they're going with Sam Darnold.
Yep.
They have not. They're going to back Sam Darnold because, like the one the caller said earlier, Sam Darnold's not a bad quarterback. But when you don't have weapons and you don't have a good coach, that's a bad environment for any young quarterback.
And just putting Zach Wilson into that environment and taking Sam Darnold out, you're setting up Zach Wilson for failure because there's no weapons there.
Exactly. Yeah. And with Zach Wilson coming to us, I looked at his pro day yesterday. I was amazed. I mean, he's from BYU.
Yeah.
Think about the 2 quarterbacks we had from BYU. Steve Young, Ty Detmer. And Ty Detmer wasn't great, but Steve Young,
certainly was.
And you don't have to be with the line you shored up. You shored up a strong line. So we're not really worried about him taking too many hits. We're more worried about him learning the offense and picking it up fast. Because with Jimmy G, what is he really going to learn from Jimmy G?
Nothing.
Then go on and get rid of him now. Trade him before April 1st. We have to pay him the bonus.
Yeah. Yep.
I figure though, if you get rid of Jerry G now, go after Zach Wilson. He's got enough weapons around him. He can prosper. Look how Joe Burrow did. Joe Burrow came in and started day 1. He did good. If it wasn't for his injury, he probably could have got. He could have been competing with Justin Herbert for rookie of the year.
So, how confident are you that Zach Wilson will be there at number 3?
I'm 100% confident.
100% confident.
The question is really not about that. It's about whether Urban Meyer is going to take Trevor Lawrence or is he going to take Justin Fields.
Yep. I think he's going to take Trevor
it.
Lawrence, but
I think so too. But at the same time, he could want to take that stick that notion that no Ohio State quarterback can make it.
true.
He'll go get Justin Fields, make him into a star. He changed that narrative that
True.
Ohio State players, the Ohio State quarterbacks don't make it. So
True.
you got to think about that. That's
Yep.
going to be in the back of everybody's head at draft day. Will Urban Meyer take Trevor Lawrence? If he takes Trevor Lawrence, okay, we good.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't, that changes the whole draft board.
It certainly does. Interesting. I wrote off the whole Zach Wilson falling past the Jets. I figured if the Jets didn't want him, they would trade down. But you make a good point, and a couple of previous callers have said the same thing. I guess I got to rethink this one, man. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Have a good one, man.
You too. Bye.
What's up, Amin?
What up?
How you doing, man?
I'm good. So I'm the number 3 pick that we traded for from the Dolphins. We give up a lot of assets, but if Zach Wilson goes second, the only problem that I have with Justin Field is that, like, I've watched this tape in Ohio. When he plays, he has the cleanest pocket. All he has to do is basically, like, stand there,
Yep.
wait, and throw the ball. That's all he has
Yep.
to do.
Yep.
You could put any quarterback there, and he could just do that.
Yes.
When Dwayne Haskins came into the NFL, when he got rushed and he didn't have time to throw the ball and just sit there and throw the ball, what happened to him? Threw interception.
Yes.
He got benched.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why I don't want Justin Fields. Like, everybody said we should draft Justin Fields. Why would we draft Justin Fields? He has a clean pocket in Ohio State. If he has to go up against Aaron Donald week 1, then what he's gonna do? He's gonna get killed out there.
I don't like him. Yeah, I'm not.
If the only quarterback that I'm comfortable with taking is Zach Wilson. Only quarterback that I'm comfortable with taking is Zach Wilson, because if Trevor Lawrence is gonna go number 1 for sure, unless Urban Meyer wants to have Justin Fields, we coach in Ohio State.
So if they get Lance, Jones, Fields at number 3, you're not happy.
Lance, Jones, Fields, I'm not happy, because we could have gotten Jones at 12, and then Lance is raw. Lance, what I've heard from people, Lance doesn't know how to read a defense. So
he doesn't have much experience. This guy says Trey Lance is the pick. He's a carbon copy of Josh Allen. If the Jets don't take Wilson, someone else will move up and take him. I don't think he's a carbon copy of Josh Allen. I think
even if that statement's true, how long did Josh Allen take to become an actual good superstar, be like a good player?
3 years.
3 years. Kyle Shanahan's gonna wait 3 years for Trey Lance to become a superstar. If he plays week 1, no. Kyle Shanahan's gonna get rid of him maybe like 2 years, or like even bench him.
Yeah, that's right.
So, like,
no, he doesn't have patience.
Even if he is Josh Allen carbon copy, they're not gonna keep him that long. They're gonna, if he doesn't play good, they're not gonna keep him for 3 years and let him develop. That's not gonna happen.
And again, what a previous caller said is, if they liked him that much, why wouldn't they go to his pro day and see him throw in person?
Yeah.
How would you pass on that?
If they like Zach Wilson, at least what I've heard, John Lynch said that when he saw he regrets passing up on Patrick Mahomes. And I don't think if we went to Zach Wilson's pro day, I don't think he's gonna pass up on Zach Wilson. If he's gonna do anything to get Zach Wilson. And
the question is, will the Jets pass up on him? But we'll see.
I don't know. And then I have one more thing to say.
Sure.
From 2016 to 2020, I got this jersey in 2016. Okay, this jersey.
Oh, nice.
I haven't not worn it since.
Oh, nice. Nice. Is it done?
I have to get a new jersey soon.
He's done with it. I
was gonna burn this Super Bowl night, but my parents did not allow me. This garbage jersey.
Parents wouldn't let you. That's a good. You don't want to do that, man.
I was gonna burn this jersey. Such a horrible.
Man. I wonder if the Niners would.
There was kids at school who were like Seahawks fans. I'll be like, ha ha ha. You guys lost. I'm just like, you guys suck, man. You guys didn't play. You guys didn't make it.
Man.
No, from 2016 to 2021, Jimmy Garoppolo won those 6 games, and then the play that he got injured. He ran, and then he got hurt. The next season he comes back, and the one thing I realized about Jimmy Garoppolo is that he plays with fear. He doesn't play with confidence when he goes on the field. He plays with fear. When he's on that field, he plays with fear. He doesn't have the confidence to lead his team like Patrick Mahomes and like other quarterbacks. When he's on the field, he's not the leader of that team. He's scared.
I agree.
So, like, I've seen it, right? Like, he runs the ball in 2017, I think, against the Chiefs, and he got injured that play. Does he run? He usually just tucks in the ball and just holds.
He doesn't run anymore. No,
he doesn't run anymore, right? He just when he's about to get sacked, he's like,
yeah, it's true. It's a bad look.
Throw the ball out of bounds or anything like that.
No,
so, like,
it's like duck and cover.
Fear.
It's duck and cover.
Injured once, and then he got injured twice again this year. He doesn't play with confidence. He plays with fear. he's not the leader like of his team. Like I've seen Drew Brees do beginning of the game where he's like hyping up his team, getting them ready for the team. Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't do that. Jimmy Garoppolo like has his own pep talk in his head, like we can do this, you know.
Come on, man. You're good. You're confident and you're tough. Yeah, I agree.
You can do this. So like,
Yeah,
Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't play that he's confident on the field. Jimmy Garoppolo plays with fear. So like I don't know. Jimmy Garoppolo just doesn't play with confidence as he should as a quarterback. Because a quarterback should be leading his team, while Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't lead his team. Jimmy Garoppolo plays with fear.
Agreed, man. Hey, great call as always. Thanks for coming on.
No problem.
Have
Thanks
a great weekend, dude.
You too.
Show, man. I'll see you soon.
See ya.
Always getting better.
Oh yeah, one more thing to say.
What?
I saw that video on Monday of Jaskowski Tart, and then I saw you talking to Vish. I saw
like
you
that?
talking to Vish. I saw
Like that?
Yeah.
All right, man. All right, man. I'll see you around.
See you around. Bye.
Real quick, Black Samurai says, love your stuff, but can we please stop saying the Niners traded 3 firsts? We swapped firsts and gave 2. And Fields QB collective connection can't be ignored. Whatever you want to say. I mean, the Niners gave up 1 first-round pick this year, 1 next year, and 1 the year after that. That sounds like 3 to me. But if you don't want to think of it that way, then think of it however you want to think of it. That makes you happy. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you, Grant?
I'm good.
Yeah, so I've been thinking about this move like a little bit for the last couple of days. So here's what I think, right? Like if there's any team that knows what the Jets are gonna do, it's the Niners. Like if there's any team in the league, because of that connection. And the Eagles and Dolphins were clearly in trade talks. And the Eagles, there was a report that said the Eagles only wanted to trade up if they could get Zach Wilson. And clearly they didn't, which means that they must know that the Jets are going to take Zach Wilson at 2, which means they know he's going to be gone by 3. And not only that, there were other reports that I saw as well that Zach Wilson's going to be gone by 2. So I think it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that Trevor Lawrence is going to be number 1. And the signs seem to be pointing that Zach Wilson's number 2, even though I feel like he would be an ideal fit because they're going to be running the same system, you know, LaFleur Jr. And so I think he would be a good fit there too. So I think the pick at 3 is Justin Fields for a number of reasons. One of which is something that you talk about a lot is Shanahan's, for better or worse, Shanahan definitely has an ego, right?
Yes.
And, you know, this is the guy that he scouted, right? He worked with him at QB Collective. If he drafts Justin Fields, he can say, this is the guy that I knew he was going to be good. This is the guy that I built. At every other place that he's been at, he's never had that say. Like in Washington, he had the organization picked RG3. And then in Atlanta, I think he probably liked Matt Ryan, but he inherited Matt Ryan. Like Matt Ryan wasn't the guy he built. So with Justin Fields, right, giving up first rounders for the next 2 years, he can say that, you know, this is the guy that I scouted. I knew this guy was going to be good for a while. And I think that's part of the thing that he wants. Eventually, he wants to be up there on the pantheon of great coaches, right? Like Belichick, Walsh, Parcells, those guys. So if he can say that I scouted this guy through high school, like I knew he was going to be great and I took him, that's my guy. He might have some mechanical issues like Sims outlined, but if I can have Jimmy and have him sit behind and learn, and then I have Fields take over the reins, I think that might be his plan.
That makes sense. I mean, if Trey Lance needs time, then I mean, you could say Justin Fields would benefit from a little time as well. And you could clearly make the argument that Fields is a better prospect than Lance. I mean, who the hell is Trey Lance? Who the hell is that guy? He had 1 season at North Dakota State, and you feel like you have a good sense of who he's going to be. He's scary. He's extremely scary to me. So you make a really good case for Justin Fields. I wrote him off a little bit, but I'll try to be more open-minded and think it through again. So thank you, man.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff.
Thanks.
And this is a really good Cohn phone. Everyone's got different perspectives, and I'd love to hear what Chardal has to say, though. What's up, man? Hey, you're muted, though, baby. There you go.
So my question is, should the 49ers bring back Frank Gore in 2021?
Why not? He'd be cheap. They need a running back who's...
And that's going to be a really great move for him to bring him back in 2021 because he's like one of the best running backs on the Niners.
Ever, all time.
He's fast. He has speed, athleticism. He can run down the field.
Tough.
Nobody's going to doubt him that he's not going to come back to the Niners.
I hope they do it.
My second question is, how do you feel about Tabor Pepper, the long snapper for the 49ers, getting a 2-year contract extension and will stay with the team till 2022?
I'm happy for it. I feel like Tabor Pepper is one of the best players on the team, and anytime you can lock down that long snapper position, you got to do it. All right, man. Chardal, good stuff.
See you later.
Take care. That was a Frank Gore question and a Tabor Pepper question. Step your game up, everyone else, because Chardal is now the MVP of the day. Chardal just won. What do you got? What's up, Ben?
Hey, Grant. How you doing, man?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well as a Niners fan. I know that you, as a former Niners fan back in 2011, that part of yourself that you killed and threw down a well, he's yelling out right now, "Oh my God, this is so exciting!"
Killed and threw down a well. Did you watch that Behind Her Eyes on Netflix? Because that's the story on Behind Her. Anyway, you should watch. You should watch Behind Her Eyes. It's a creepy show. Anyone who's seen it is like, yeah, that show's hella creepy. Anyway, keep going.
No, I was just going to say, man, it's an exciting day. And I got to give myself a little bit of a pat on the back here. I said this about a week ago. Deshaun Watson was plan A for this team. I feel more confident about that than ever. I know you don't want to talk about that, and you shouldn't be.
No, I think it's clear. I think it's clear. I think it's clear.
Yeah. So I'm just going to, say I said that a week ago. It was pretty obvious at that point to me. And let me rephrase it. I think it's more like, that was plan 1A and this might have been plan 1B. So,
okay.
I'm not mad. I'm happy that this team is making a decision at quarterback. I have some specific quarterbacks I'll talk about in a second, but I just want to make this point.
Sure.
I think the best thing right now, if you're a 49ers fan, the thing you have to be the most optimistic about is that Jimmy wasn't Kyle's guy. He never was. He never will be. He loathes working with Jimmy Garoppolo.
I think it's pretty clear. I think it's clear.
So, Bill Belichick just basically called him up, was like, hey, you want him? I need to get rid of him.
Yeah.
So he was never his guy. I think the best thing about this right now, if you're a Niners fan, is that Kyle's going to go get his guy, and he's going to have the full confidence in that player. And listen, I don't know if they're going to get it right or not. No one does, right? But I think for me, it's that the whole idea that Kyle is going to be going and getting the guy he wants, and he's going to have as much confidence in him and empower him as much as anybody, because he didn't really empower Jimmy Garoppolo. Not that he necessarily had the chance because he was hurt all the time, but he's going to have that opportunity to do that. For me, I think that guy is Zach Wilson. Because, and I like Michael Miller.
Here's the thing, though.
Earlier, Mike Shanahan was there.
Kyle believed in CJ. Kyle empowered CJ. Kyle believed in Mullins. Kyle empowered Mullins. I think from Jimmy's perspective, I'd love to talk to Jimmy like at a bar, unfiltered. Hey, Jimmy, what do you think of all that's going on? I'm not that high on Jimmy, but Jimmy could say stuff like, "Hey, man, Kyle thinks he's so great. Let's see how he does without me." I'm not saying I'm the greatest quarterback of all time, but his record without me is what it is. Let's see what he does without me. Love to hear Jimmy's side of the story. It would be quite entertaining.
Honestly, that would be one of the more fascinating people to talk to in all the building right now. Oh, let's read the comment. All right. Bet Kyle drafts Zach Wilson. Why would they only show up to Wilson's pro day and get a trade done during his pro day? It only makes sense that the Jets gave them intel that they aren't after Wilson. Why would the Jets be that generous, though? It's not Saleh's team. It's Joe Douglas's team. That everyone's been saying, "Oh, Robert Saleh, he doesn't have as much pool as Kyle Shanahan does." Hey,
Joe Douglas. Let me just tell you what we're doing real quick, because we're boys, because we're homies, because we're bros. I don't know. Maybe the NFL works like that.
And listen, that might be the situation if they're not drafting a quarterback. But if they're drafting a quarterback, why would they ever let the 49ers know what they're doing? That would be stupid. So, I think Zach Wilson's going to be the guy for them, honestly, because, I think it's not even about the timing of it, because I think people overplay the pro day thing a little bit much. I think, quite honestly, it's just we only have that this year. We don't have the combine. We don't have all this other stuff that we would normally have in a normal year. So, maybe the timing of it is strange because it's the day of the pro day. But I also think, listen, this is the offer they would have given for Deshaun Watson, this or maybe close to this. So I think it was a matter of narrowing down the options and getting to the point where, and maybe you're right, maybe they are panicking a little bit. I think it is a little bit of a panic move, but at the same time, how many more options would they have going forward to go and get
That's
that
a good point.
quarterback? That's the thing.
That's a good point. But seriously, I can come back to, okay, if this was the offer they were going to make for Watson, and they turn around and trade it for the number 3 pick, who is comparable to Watson in their eyes? Mac Jones? No. Mac Jones is nothing like Deshaun Watson. So they must feel that one of Fields or Lance could become that type of high ceiling player under Shanahan with a year on the bench. Hey, man, good luck, dude, because you might be playing yourself, man. We'll see.
Oh, and I hear you on that. You could, and listen, all of this rides on the quarterback. But here's the thing I will say. The thing I'm really, really excited about is next year they can go and spend $15 million in free agency on a pass rusher or a great corner or an offensive lineman. They can go and build one of the best rosters that they've had in recent history if they do it right. Now, I'm not saying they will do it right, but they're certainly going to have the opportunity to build like a ridiculously stacked roster, even more than they have right now.
No, I feel like... Last thing before I let you go. People are talking like, well, maybe they don't take a quarterback. Maybe they could take Penei Sewell. And look, I'd be cool to take Penei Sewell, but you can't trade multiple assets for an offensive tackle.
No.
The reason I was more into trading Bosa 1-for-1 for the number 3 pick is I don't want to trade 4 assets for one. That puts a lot of pressure on that one kid. And you know what I mean? What if he doesn't work out? Now I'm fired. And you want to turn 1 asset into 3, not 3 into 1. So if the Niners, if this doesn't work out, they could look at, well, maybe you could have traded Kittle. Maybe you could have traded Bosa, something like that.
Maybe.
Man, always a pleasure, man. You think UCLA's going to win tonight? Are they playing tonight?
So it's us and you guys. We're going to be playing tomorrow night.
What we got? We're going up against 2 seed, right?
You're going against Bama. Bama's really good this year.
Bama's good. I do not watch college basketball.
Okay, they should have been a 1 seed, I think. So good luck.
Well, what do you think of Juzang, though?
What?
What do you think of Juzang? Have you seen Juzang?
Oh, no, I've seen him play a few times, man. He's fun, man. And Mick Cronin, Mick is just going right through the tournament. I mean, hey, so
yeah, I like Mick Cronin.
Is UCLA basketball back?
But I think it's back.
Maybe. All right. Well, hey, good luck, man. I'll talk to you next time.
All right, man. You too. Take care. Oh, wait, hold on. That's not what I tried to do. My bad. Later, dude. Almost made it his show. Real quick, I want to answer a couple questions, then I'll get to the next ones. Eric says, bro, I gotta buy love from this guy. Bro, I gotta buy love from my guy. Is Sewell worth the 2nd pick if the Jets don't trade a quarterback? Yeah, he's worth it, but I think the Jets should trade down. I think the Jets should not take a quarterback. I mean, if everyone else wants a quarterback, you trade down. You don't freaking stay up there and make a point by taking someone no one else would take at your pick. Rick says, I think they are still in on Watson. With the 3rd pick, they now have the pick to give the Texans a quarterback, which before they didn't have the pick to do that. 3rd overall and Bosa. I don't know if 3rd and Bosa is enough to get it done. 2 assets for 1. Well, maybe Watson's value is dropping. Interesting thought. Are they still in on Bosa, on Watson? Maybe some other callers will have some thoughts on that. It's interesting. Jonathan, are you there?
Hey, Grant, you hear me?
Yeah, how you doing, man?
Good. Okay, so yesterday when I saw the news, I was a bit disappointed. I mean, I think that we should just state, I think that we would have gotten a quarterback anyway in the offseason just because of Jimmy G's frailties, but at the same time, I don't think it was this urgent. I don't think that anybody we could have gotten at number 3 would be sufficient. I mean, I thought we might have gone up just for like another playmaker on offense, like Jamar Chase, which I think's the best player in or 2nd best player in the draft behind Trevor Lawrence. Just because what his numbers as a sophomore are the same as Devontae Smith as a senior. So,
hey, real quick, is my voice sound funny to you? Is it extra deep?
Yeah.
It does?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad. Hold on. Give me a minute here.
All right.
How do I sound now? Do I still sound like I got a funny?
You sound fine.
Sound better now?
Yeah, it sounds better.
Whew, okay. what you were saying. Sorry about
Yeah, I just felt like we would have traded up anyway, just not for a quarterback. I think that we could have gone. I think that we might have tried to develop Josh Rosen just because the talent is clearly there. I mean, back in 2018, what was it? I thought he was the best quarterback in the draft. Turns out I was wrong, but yeah, I still think that we.
So we're talking here that there's a possibility the Niners don't take a quarterback because who's to say Mac Jones is even more talented than Josh Rosen? There's a point there.
Yeah, and that's what I thought. But I think that 3, I think it has to be a quarterback. If it was like 4 or 5, I think they would have went. They would have won Jamar Chase just because the guy's insane. Sophomore, 1,800 yards, 20 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. Look, it's something to consider because we don't know for sure that the Niners are going to take a quarterback. We'll think about it. Thanks, Jonathan.
All right. See you,
Have a good one. All right. Hey, man.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good. I'm gonna bring in the whole thing with the whole Trey Lance versus Justin Fields debate.
Okay.
And I was thinking, the one thing is, what does Kyle do best as a coordinator? It's his run game, his screen
Play
game,
action.
and his play action game as well too.
Yep.
And so when you talk about his drop back passing game, it's very okay. They're playing this coverage. If we get it right, we get it right. And
yes, I agree. It's not like here's a progression. No, it's very much if it's cover 3, this guy will be open. If it's cover 1, this guy will be open. And
even in the Super Bowl, it was cover 4. Okay, we have a dig and a post. Where you guys can work then, but Jimmy just overthrew the ball. But I guess besides the point.
Right.
And here's my thing. So as a dude who carried us with his running game in the Super Bowl, why wouldn't he want to add the QB run element to it? And a quarterback who can stretch the entire field is Trey Lance and Justin Fields. For me, it's Justin Fields. And back in 2014, when he was the coordinator for the Cleveland Browns, the Cleveland Browns basically wanted to run the RG3 offense with Shanahan. And Shanahan goes on record saying, oh, we can't run that offense because Manziel, for him to be successful as a running quarterback, which you're going to have to do for Trey Lance, especially Trey Lance, because he's put up 288 passes since he was in high school.
Yes, 288, yeah.
And so that's the thing. So even if he ends up being the best quarterback in this class, he's going to have a heavy quarterback run game for the first 2, maybe 3 years of his career while he learns how to drop back and pass.
No question. And Kyle has coached that in the past.
And he has. And so my thing is, okay, so when you talk about athletically, Trey Lance is very similar just in terms of athleticism, not playing quarterback. He's very similar to Carson Wentz and Josh Allen. And Carson Wentz and even the running game they had in North Dakota State, it was a very power run.
Yes.
And when you run a power run offense as a quarterback, you're getting hit. You're taking hits in the middle versus when they ran that RG3, the Lamar Jackson, they fake the handoff, run outside the numbers. They take low velocity hits. So you have a low chance of getting hurt.
True.
Which is what, especially he self-proclaimed he's going to run in the 4-3s. Justin Fields can run that RG3 type, get to the perimeter. I can slide. I can protect myself. Maybe in the goal line or 3rd and 1, I can put my body on the line and pick up a yard on the first down. And so that leaves, okay, so you're telling me with Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback, we had one of the best non-QB run games, and you add in the quarterback element of it. It wasn't Greg Roman who made it cool running foot. It was Shanahan with RG3.
True. You're right. Yeah.
It was. And
you're right. The Niners were kind of like came after that. They saw it and were like, we could do that too with Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, it carries to the Super Bowl, but Greg Roman, in terms of being a passing game coordinator, sucks. He sucks now.
Yeah.
And so off the bat, when you talk about Trey Lance and the way Shanahan drafts the skill positions, even from Debo to Ayuk, even Dante Pettis, McKinnon, he loves athletes in space. Think about all these guys were punt returners, kick returners in college, can return punts. They can break tackles, yards after catch. I think Debo, Ayuk, even Kittle. Why not extend that to the quarterback position?
Yeah.
And one thing is the thing is about being a bust when it comes to being a quarterback is a lot of QBs get put in really shitty situations. And how many quarterbacks who get drafted in the top 5 get to go to our skill position and our head coach?
True. That's true.
Not to mention their now improved offensive line and the way our offensive line is built. I mean, we have everyone shits on the glitchy, but we are.
Hey man, hey, don't curse on my show, man.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
It's all good. It's all good.
Sorry about that.
It's all good. Yeah. Okay. So it would definitely be a better supporting cast than most rookie quarterbacks get to go to.
Yeah, and not only that, the way we build our offensive line, we're a great run blocking offensive line. We have one of the smaller offensive lines in pro football from weight by weight, even before McGlinchey was even drafted, which is why we got rid of Trent Brown. And so the way we construct our team, we're built to run the football. And when it comes to drop back passing, okay, that's where there's going to be kind of a learning curve. But at the end of the day, when it comes to 1, 2, 3, get the ball out of your hands, Jimmy Garoppolo has to play that way. Mac Jones has to play that way. Same with Nick Mullins. You don't with Justin Fields, he doesn't have to make. And so if Kyle calls a bad play, it's, hey, bail me out.
Yep.
I feel like that's what he's missing at the quarterback. And especially if you really look at RG3's highlights in terms of throwing the football, it's play action over the top of the linebackers, play action over the top. We're a screen. Mm-hmm. His first 7 passes in the NFL were screens.
I believe it. I believe it. Well, you made a good case for it, man. I'm gonna go back and look at Justin Fields and think of him in the RG3 lens. So thank you, man.
Yeah, and one more thing, actually. So someone mentioned the fact that Mike Shanahan was there at BYU. Well, Mike Shanahan was also there at the QB Collective as well.
Mm-hmm. Good call. Good point. Good point, man. Good stuff, dude.
Thank you.
Hey, Chris. You're muted. You got to press the little microphone button on your screen. There you go.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing
So,
good.
couple things I want to point here. We have definitely upgraded the offensive line this year. With the center, with Mac, that's definitely an upgrade in the center position. Mm-hmm. Re-signing Trent was great. I mean, we need that lockdown left side to block whoever's in our quarterback position. My only fear is I've watched a bunch of your videos and you pointed it out great. Every game, Jimmy's throwing it to the opponent twice a game. Minimum twice a game. Yeah.
Yep.
And we need somebody that's not going to make those mental mistakes.
Yes.
Other than Wilson or Lawrence in the top quarterbacks, I really think the best quarterback that's pro ready that can take us and give us a shot at winning this season would be Jones.
Yeah. Doesn't turn the ball over much.
Seasons makes great decisions with the ball. When he has to, he will boot out and take off. I mean, but then what's the point of trading up to 3? Do you honestly think Jones that Mac's not going to be there at 12 when we get to draft? Because everybody I'm talking to has him like the 6th quarterback on the list, 5 or 6.
Yeah.
I personally think he's better than Fields.
Yeah, I personally think he's better than Fields too. He's a really good decision maker, a quick decision maker. He sees the field really well. He throws with anticipation. I don't think Fields has any of those qualities.
He doesn't. He can't throw his receivers open, and that's one thing that we have been missing, especially in Shanahan's offense. Play actions, you got to be able to throw your receivers open.
Yes.
You know, even with these quick, short bubble screens and stuff, you still have to throw your receivers open.
That's right. Yeah. So that's a good argument for Mac Jones there. I mean, I do think he's the kind of quarterback that Shanahan would like. The only question is he like him enough to trade up that far for him? I just don't think he's that good.
Well, I'm with you on that. I don't think he's that good, but I mean, I don't want the kid from South Dakota State.
Yeah,
because that's going to be a project.
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be a project. And I'm a diehard Niners fan from the 80s. And I've gone through a 25-year drought.
Yep.
Die hard. And I'm ready to see us start making some noise in this league again.
Yeah. If they draft Trey Lance, that could be some job security for Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't know if Trey Lance will ever take his job.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either.
I think Justin Fields too.
Yeah, but I honestly think Jones could.
Yeah. Hey, great call,
And
man.
then,
Thanks for calling in. Hold on. One more thing.
One last point. We need to sign Gore. Bring Gore back in for a year. Let him toughen up this running backs group of ours, because Wilson Jr., I love the kid. Love the kid.
Yeah, I love him too.
Every Mostert, love him. Just absolutely love him. But we need that bruiser. We don't have that bruiser.
Yep.
That we can just hand the ball off, let him run in between the two guards in that A-B gap all the time, and say, hurt them. Just put your helmet down and run them over. And that's what he does best.
Bring back Frank. I like it, man. I like it. Great call.
Yep, and Frank the Tank will always be a Niner in my heart.
Yeah, I agree. And so will you, Chris. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too, Grant.
Yep. All right. Eric, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. So I see a lot of people not exactly wanting Lance because he's kind of a project. There was a video out there that I did watch, or I should say rewatch, and he did do a side-by-side comparison to Wilson and Lance, and his comps for Wilson. His comp for Wilson was Johnny Manziel, and Lance was more of the Russell Wilson. I'm like saying, if we can get somebody like Lance, I think that would make sense for here. I know a lot of people are saying, well, this isn't. He's just not the guy, and I'm not sure if you're a Lance guy either. However, Lance does give that dynamic that Shanahan and a lot of in the 49ers lack, and they're actually starting to see that it's that mobile quarterback who can also become a pocket passer. Lance is not a scramble first like Fields. He's more a play action first, and if you need him to run, then he'll do it. So he's very Russell Wilson like, just taller, I believe.
So you think Lance is a better fit for the offense than Fields?
I think he would be. I think he would be more like not exactly an upgrade, but like an update. Yeah, because I think Shanahan is starting to say, hey, just in case if the pocket collapses, we need someone who can run around a little bit and find the guy. And Lance is amazing. No interceptions, killer accurate. The NDSU barely has it's just riddled with no name receivers, and it's riddled with nobodies. And I'm not going to say he's the next Carson Wentz. I think he's going to be a lot better than this. If I'm wrong, I'm open to say, but I think Lance would ultimately be the best suit. I mean, he does a little bit of that RPO kind of stuff, and if you put him up with Ayuk, Samuel, and the running game, I think it's going to be a bit of a nightmare. I don't know. What's your input on that?
Lance scares me. I see what you're saying. He does have experience running play action and stuff. I think he's going to need to sit for a while, maybe more than 1 year. So they got to really, really be confident that he can succeed in their scheme. Eric,
okay.
Great call.
And I'm with you on the Mac. And if not, I'm okay with the Mac Jones pick. I know a lot of people are not that fond of him, but if Mac Jones is the target, then I'm fine with that as well. All right.
Okay.
You have a good
All right,
one.
Eric. Great call, man. Always a pleasure to see you.
All right, see you too. Bye.
All right, take care. What's up, man?
What's up, Grant? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Doing good. So I wasn't here for the beginning of the show, but I hope I could bring something new that wasn't discussed. I'm actually going to talk about hopefully the Niners are able to trade down from 3 to 4, actually. Hopefully to a landing spot. So I'm thinking, right, it's probably going to go Lawrence, Wilson, and then they have the option of whoever they want. They're there at 3. But what if the Niners are able to trade down with Atlanta because maybe Atlanta really likes Fields or they really like Lance and they don't want to miss out? then the Niners can maybe get like a pick back. I don't know how it works with the draft points and how much you gain from that, but I think that's an option they should explore.
Interesting. Trade down one spot. It's possible. They've done that a bunch of times in the first. I did it last year. They did it in 2017. One more trade down. Is that possible? Yeah, I can see that.
Just to 4. And I'm thinking if you trade down to 4 and Fields is taken, I think you can take Lance at 4. I think that's justifiable if you trade down and you get an extra pick out of that. Personally, I like Fields at 3, but
it would be helpful to get some assets back. It's really expensive and it's asking a lot of a young quarterback. But hey, justify this trade that we just made. Be great right now, right away.
You got to do
That's pressure. You got to do it.
Throw for 4,000, no picks.
Yeah, right now. No, it's interesting. Trade down one spot, get a little value back. It's possible. It's possible.
Yeah. So I personally like Fields. Again, I know that they say he has some problems with his progressions, but I don't think it's something that can't be taught, and it's something that can't be developed, especially with a young guy like him. Like I was watching just the way he throws like that deep ball. We've never really had a deep game in San Francisco because Jimmy has no arm. No offense, but I'm sorry. He should go back to modeling. But yeah, Justin Fields has a killer arm. I like Trey Lance, but again, it's the completion percentage. He hasn't thrown a lot, and he's only had one starting season at North Dakota, so he doesn't have a whole lot of reps. But I feel like Fields' ceiling is probably the highest in the draft, in my opinion, just as a ceiling, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, I have no idea which way he's going at quarterback. Every caller changes my opinion. But yeah, I see you, man. Well, I'll give Fields another look.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about Mac at 3 because again, a lot of people are making the argument like, yeah, we're in a win now situation, which I agree we are. We wouldn't make a blockbuster trade otherwise, but I don't think Mac is right at 3. I think it's almost like a slap in the face to the fans because I don't think he's going to fall past 8. So why trade all of that? You know, you're reaching at that point in the draft, in my opinion. I like Mac, but not at 3.
Yeah, I think so too. It's a bit of a reach. Some people seem to think Zach Wilson's going to fall to the Niners at 3. We'll see. We'll see.
I don't know. That's only if they get Sewell, right? I mean, but that means they have to stick with Darnold. Otherwise, I think Wilson's going to be gone. Yeah. Not going to get him. No. Killer arm, though, for sure.
Killer arm. Hey, man, good to see you. Thanks for coming on.
Definitely. Thank you.
All right.
See you.
For sure. For sure. Andrew.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. Just at work right now, chilling in my truck. Hey, so I had an idea. I don't know if anyone's mentioned this, but would New England take Garoppolo back in like a third for their number 15 pick or whatever they have in the first?
I'm muting you because there's a little bit of an echo when I talk, but I think it's interesting. I'm not sure that exactly what the Patriots would give, but I think the offer was a second. So maybe if the Niners throw in a third of their own, they can get 15 back. I don't know. Do you think how likely do you think that is?
I don't know, but it would be cool to get back up into the first and get Horn. Because then I think if you get a quarterback at 3 and then Horn still in the first, I think you're winning. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's possible. I don't know if the Patriots are going to give that up. It seems to me like the Patriots are going to wait out the Niners and not give them too much because who wants to pay Jimmy Garoppolo $25 million next year? It seems like that contract is going to hinder his value, but I don't know exactly what they'll get for him. I don't know. Maybe the 15th's a little rich for Jimmy Garoppolo, who no one seems to want. I don't know.
All right. Well, they could restructure him and make it worth it, but
Well, we'll see, man. We got a major echo. I got to let you go, but thanks for calling in, man. Have a good one. Hey, Viet, how you doing?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
What's up, dude? How you doing?
Dude, I feel like I'm watching, that Kevin Costner movie, Draft Day?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I'm watching that right now.
That's
I feel like we can make I don't think this is the only move that we're going to make until then.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. We could, like somebody mentioned it, like maybe we can use this to trade for Watson. Although with all the allegation, I don't know if that's a great idea at this point. Whoever they pick, though, I'll be happy with it because even if it's Mac Jones, which I'm not big on, I think Kyle's stubborn enough that he thinks he can make anything work. Like, you know, if he thinks he can make CJ work, don't you think he would think so?
Yes.
Whoever comes is going to have a lot of confidence too. Like, you're coming to Kyle Shanahan. You're not coming to like some bum franchise with a losing history. You got historic franchise, historic coach, and Lynch is super aggressive. I think he's building for the future, like the future. Like, it's a win now, but like win now in a couple of years, not, you know, like Kansas City. But man, I don't know. It's just, well, I feel like each of them has their own guy. Like Lynch has this guy, and Kyle has this guy, which is probably Mac Jones, which is what my guess is, because it fits the system more. And Lynch just wants that superstar. So
that's probably true. It's probably true. Yeah.
I think. Who do you think right now has more? Because this feels like a Lynch move. I think if Kyle had the power and if Lynch wasn't there, this move never would have been made. I think Lynch had a lot of
very interesting. It does seem like a Lynch move. And then down the line, we'll hear that Kyle didn't necessarily want to do it. And
right.
I wonder if he'll weasel out of it if it doesn't work.
What I'm thinking is, like, where's the power dynamic right now between Lynch and Shanahan? Because it seems to go back and forth. And well, whoever they pick, I think is very telling of who's got the bigger dynamic.
Power.
Who's got more power.
Yeah, if it's Mac Jones, it's a Kyle Shanahan pick. If it's Justin Fields or someone else, it's a John.
And to me, I would rather Lynch have all the power than Shanahan.
Why?
Because he's the GM, and he's done something that I haven't. This is probably the biggest like move that we've done since I've been a fan since I was a little kid. I can't remember anything bigger than this that we've made. And since Lynch came, he's changed all that. Like, he's been more aggressive than Balky ever has.
That's
Balky
right.
just drafted O-line, D-line sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
And he was good at that, but he never made a big splash on corners. He never made a big splash on like receivers or anything other than Crabtree, but Crabtree fell to us because the Raiders messed up or whatever. Yeah, I just want to say that I'm really interested in see what Lynch does during the draft here.
Yeah, me too. I hadn't thought of this as it's a Lynch move or a Kyle move, but it's an interesting way to think about it. Thanks for coming on, man. I'm going to think that one through. Of course, man. Great stuff. Hey, it's Alex Smith. What's up, dude? Alex, man, you look great. What's going on?
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm a little bit younger, right?
Yeah, man. What's going on?
Not much, man. I love your show. I'm a huge Niners fan. I'm out in Jersey, and I appreciate. I'm a kindergarten teacher. I got a lot of my students that actually watch your show, so I appreciate the no cussing. I do.
Oh, nice.
But
dude was getting relentless with it. I was like, please.
It happens. People slip up, but
it does.
All right. So what I'm going to say is I really like this move. I just want to talk about the move in general. To me, if you look at the Niners' history of their draft picks, they've had some pretty big whiffs. They've had Solomon Thomas. They've had Mike McGlinchey. They've had a whole bunch of people that I'm remembering through the Shanahan-Lynch era that haven't really stuck. The people who have stuck are oftentimes the ones that were higher up. Like, you got Bosa, you got Brandon Ayuk, you got like those guys who stick pretty well. So I think this, like right now, we're a quarterback away from winning, which is awesome based on the free agency signings of the past 2 weeks. Do I think that whoever we draft is going to be able to just jump in and just carry the Niners to a Super Bowl? Absolutely not.
Okay.
But I think that Jimmy Garoppolo, I don't like how much we're paying him, but he can at least get us through maybe like half the season. And if he gets hurt, like we expect him to get hurt, then you have Josh Rosen to take over if it's really, really early, who I think is better than CJ Beathard and Nick Mullins.
Yeah.
And if it's later in the season, maybe that this new kid, whoever we get, I'm not sure exactly who they're even going to get, might be able to actually take over and make a contribution this year, which is pretty exciting to see.
Yeah.
I feel like a problem in the NFL is a lot of teams, they're like so scared to trade their future draft picks. They're like, well, what if this is here? What if this is here? What if this is here? Sometimes you just got to pull the trigger and just do what you can do now. And I think the Niners are doing that. And I think that's awesome.
I
Also,
think it's a good thing
yeah,
that they're at least taking a swing at drafting a quarterback in round 1 for the first time since they took you in 2005.
Absolutely.
That was 16 years ago, man. I was 17.
Right.
I was 17. Yeah.
It feels, I was around there too. My last thing that I want to say, because Garoppolo's contract is structured the way it is, I really would not mind if they dropped him or see if they could get some for him. But if they can't, then they dropped him, freed up the cap space, and brought in Alex Smith.
I would like that. I've been writing articles about that. I just don't know if Alex Smith wants to come back and work for the Yorks again because he knows them.
They treated him like such garbage.
They did. They did. He may be like, you know what? Good luck.
Yeah,
and he might be right to do that.
Yeah, but he's cheaper, and
no
while he
doubt.
may be a little bit worse than Garoppolo, I compared his last year's stats to Garoppolo's 2019 stats.
Yeah,
they're not that far off, and Garoppolo had people to throw to.
Yeah,
where
exactly.
Who's
Alex
Smith
just
throw
wins.
to McLaren, Terry
Yeah.
McLaurin? Like
Yeah, Alex he still wins, and you don't have to pay much for that production. So
and he's smart, and he's better to train the younger quarterbacks, in my opinion.
I think that's the most important thing. Jimmy ain't training no one. Aaron, thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks for having me, buddy.
Of course. What's up, Lee?
Yo, what's up, Grant?
How you
What's
doing,
up,
man? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, man, good. What a crazy day it was yesterday. I
Yeah.
looked up all these messages on my phone. I was like, whoa, what's going on? And then like,
You
I
must
remember
have been
talking to you,
sleeping when
Grant.
that went off, right? Like it was 10:30 over
Yeah.
here, so it must have been. Yeah, you still sleeping. Yeah.
And I remember us talking about it, and we didn't think that they were going to make this big move, and they did it. They finally did it, and it's real exciting, for Niner fans. But at the same time, it's so worrying because Kyle, like this is 100% Kyle's move because the offense is his baby. That Grant. He makes the decisions on the offense. He picks the players, and he's had so many bad picks and so many bad guys, not just in the draft, but even in free agency. If you remember 2018 when they got McKinnon and Richburg, and they paid them all that money, and both of them turned out to be, bad picks. And that's free agency where you actually know what players are. You've seen them in the NFL. So that's what worries me about this trade up, because I don't think we were that far away. If we'd had hit a couple of defensive players in this draft and maybe an O-lineman, that we could actually compete in the playoffs. But it's real exciting. But yeah, like I said, it's just so worrying with all these quarterbacks because you're sitting at 3. Lawrence probably goes right 1. Then you got Wilson. That'll probably go to the Jets. He fits their system. A lot of people forget, like Joe Douglas is in control of that franchise. He won multiple Super Bowls. He's been a scout for years. He won at the Ravens and at Philly. So he has a big say there over Salah. He's just come in. So yeah, I just, you look at guys like Mac Jones. Yeah, okay, he's got a good floor, but his ceiling doesn't look that high. And I feel that's way too much to trade up for a guy like him. You look at
agree.
The other guy, Trey Lance. Trey Lance, yeah, he's got some great athletic gifts, but then it's just like huge boom or bust material. Like he just hasn't done enough.
Right.
And North Dakota didn't rely on just his arm to, win them games. He had a lot of games where he won just running the ball,
Right.
And so that's another risk. And then you look at the other two, and I'm hoping that it's Fields or Wilson, but if Wilson could be gone. The thing I like about Fields gone, it's just that high potential, like guys overlooked Herbert, guys overlooked Allen, people saying, oh, they're not that good, Mahomes, and they all turned out to be great players in this league. And it's, they just got the talent, like they can move, they got great mobility, they got rocket arms. These guys are just freakish talents these days. You've seen it at pro days this year with guys turning up and running 4.3s. It's like 4.3s are now 4.5s in the league,
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's technology or advancements over the years, but these guys just have so much things, that they could get that players back in the day couldn't get. And you're just seeing like super athletes just everywhere now.
So you think Fields is the way to go?
Yeah, because if Lawrence and Wilson are gone, I think he's got the highest potential out of these guys. Like he just got physical gifts that these other players, like especially Mac Jones, doesn't have. You could say Trey Lance. Him and Lance have physically are quite similar.
Yeah.
Trey Lance and Justin Fields.
Yeah.
But it's just that huge boom or bust material, and it's just so riskier that I hope that they don't take the other two. I'm hoping it's Wilson or Justin Fields.
All right. Well, they very well may be. I have no idea what they're going to do, but thanks for laying out the case for Fields. It makes sense.
Thanks,
All right, have a great day, man. Take care. See you next time. Yo,
Grant, what's up?
How you doing, man?
Good, brother. Hey, I have a theory. I think that because of the rule changes in the NFL, they basically put flags on the quarterbacks, right?
True.
So, Shanahan didn't want to have an RG3 type quarterback again because they get hurt, and then you got to retool your offense for somebody. But now you can have mobile quarterbacks and they don't get hurt. So I think that if you were to draft Wilson, well, you have Rosen, you have access to Mullins, and you have Garoppolo. Is Wilson better than those three? I don't see much difference there. But with Lance and Fields, you have somebody now that has the mobility issues. And of course, Shanahan knows how hard it is to deal with mobility going up against Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson every year, right? And so I think the play is they draft Fields or Lance, and then they trade with New England, Garoppolo, and they get a second, and they get Cam Newton. And Cam Newton becomes the bridge for Fields or Lance because Garoppolo is not a bridge. Garoppolo is not a bridge, right? He still feels like he has a career. So
I see. So the trade is trade Jimmy back to New England for pick and Cam.
Yeah, second round and Cam. And he becomes the bridge to teach Fields or Lance, similar type, a lot of experience. And hey, if you can have success with Beathard and Mullins, then I think Cam can come in and have success and be that bridge with the weapons around him. And again, third down, if you look at the first game of last season, Kyler Murray would just take off on third down, 3rd and 15, and he's running for a first down. And Shanahan's pulling his hair out. And like I said, with the rules nowadays, they're protected. They don't get hurt as easy. So, Lamar Jackson, you see Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, you see these off-schedule guys are really taking the game in a different direction. But I'm looking for one of these, bro.
Hey, I like it. You made a really good point. I hadn't thought of what you brought up. I hadn't thought of that at all. That was really outside the box. Good stuff.
And you made a great point with him liking Trey Lance. Under center, has the play action, and when play action breaks down, you can run. He's had to deal with these statues at quarterback. I think he's thinking the game has evolved. College quarterbacks, they make all the reads. The college game is almost like the old pro game, right?
Yes.
And so these guys are coming in prepared. And I just think it makes sense that you would go with a mobile guy if you're going to move up because they have Rosen. That's
a good point. Again, like how much better than Rosen is Mac Jones? I don't see it. I like Mac Jones. I like him, but I like Josh Rosen too. Is the gap that much that you needed to do this? I think you're onto something, man. Thanks a lot, dude. I appreciate it. Good call. What's up, dude?
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Yeah, well, I'm going to be out a bottle of wine in a couple of weeks.
That's right. That's right.
Before this week, I had a good take on how I think the 49ers are probably currently the 3rd seed in the NFC West.
Okay.
I've got Tampa, the Packers, the Niners, the Washington football team, the Rams, the Cardinals.
You're talking about the NFC overall, not just the
overall
NFC West.
seed. Yeah. And I do think the Niners are probably the team to beat in the division. And I do think Seattle's going to take a major step back this year.
Okay.
And, if the 49ers, had signed only Witherspoon or Kerry Hyder, your reaction would have been, it was a disaster, right? Seattle signs those guys. They signed Carlos Dunlap, but that's about it. They lost a lot of players, and they only got 3 picks in the draft this year.
Wow.
They only have 3.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. I think the highest is 50, and I think one of them's 209. I think they got a 170 in there. So they can't build. This is the team that they have essentially right now. So in my mind, I really do think the 49ers are positioning themselves to be the team to beat in the NFC. And it also factors in schedule, right? The Packers have a very weak division now that, there's really no quarterback other than Aaron Rodgers playing with them. And same thing with Tampa Bay. Now that the Drew Brees is retired, Tampa has a pretty easy schedule when it comes to their conference games.
Yeah.
And so, that's for another time.
Yeah.
My main point was going to be Jimmy versus Fields. So what's the biggest knock on Jimmy? What is Jimmy? A one-read quarterback, correct?
Yeah, he's indecisive. He's a one-read quarterback.
With limited arm. With limited arm, correct?
Yeah, and a limited mobility too.
So with limited mobility. Fields, better arm.
Better arm, more mobile.
More mobile. Cheaper.
Cheaper.
Right? So he's got 3 check boxes, right? The only thing we
Yep.
don't, and you know what? If you haven't seen it, there's a Netflix show that kind of looks at him as a high school recruit.
The
I don't know.
QB1?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
haven't
he's
seen it.
on there. He's on
Okay.
there.
Okay.
You'll either come away as very impressed or meh, but it kind of shows you that the pressure on these young kids at a very young
Crazy.
age.
Yeah.
And he was the guy that you wanted to be like. And then there were other guys that are going to get drafted this year that you did not want. And you saw behind the scenes what they were kind of like. And the one thing that stood out about Fields is he takes criticism really well.
Oh, interesting. Well, he's going to
And-
have to do that with Kyle. I'll tell you what.
Yes. And that was one thing that I saw that was like, okay, that kid's going to make it. And that was before he went to Ohio State or, lit it up and all that stuff. I was like, he looks like he's coachable. And then that really, you're a young kid, early 20s, millions of dollars, surrounded by people that tell you that you're amazing. It's really hard to hear that
Yes.
you're not very good, right?
Right.
But he doesn't have that. It doesn't look like it. And it'll be interesting to see what happens in the draft. And yes, they're not going to draft the offensive lineman or draft any other position. It's quarterback, 100%. The only thing that's a little concerning is that if the pick failed, they have very limited options at that point now, right?
Even if the pick hits, how do they build around him?
Well, here's the thing. So you're assuming that Jimmy's cap hit is gone, right? And now they're basically saying we're going to build through free agency. We are not going to build through the draft. But
Right.
now you're going to go to a bidding war, and you're never going
Right.
to become younger. So you
Nope.
basically have tied your clock to saying we need to win within 5 years of
Yes.
this rookie contract.
That's right.
Just one.
That's
And then we're going to turn over and we're going to do it again.
And during
Maybe-
those years, you don't have first round picks.
Correct.
That's right.
Correct.
Yep.
And maybe that's the way you tell your fan base, hey, listen, we're guaranteed a Super Bowl every 4 to 5 years based off that.
Yep.
We'll
Yeah.
keep a bunch of core players. We'll get a young quarterback. We'll turn it over 4 or 5 years, and that's going to be the new norm until the salary cap rises or the QB market payroll comes down. Because Rodgers is going through the same thing. As good as Rodgers is, they're not guaranteeing his contract. He
No.
sees the writing on the wall.
That's right.
They couldn't keep their Hall of Fame center or Hall of Fame lineman in Green Bay anymore because of Rodgers. The coaching staff knows that. And you know what? I think the NFL is turning more and more into less of how good of a quarterback you are versus how good the scheme is, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
The 49ers kept a lot of their own players because guess what? They don't have to reteach the scheme to anybody else.
Right. That's a good point.
With COVID, right? Who knows what the offseason is going to be like? You have a bunch of people that if you come into a new team, new system, defense, they really shouldn't skip a beat with these players on.
Yeah.
Right. And so it'll be interesting. They may keep Jimmy, but the Jimmy ain't going to last after this year.
No.
Not with that
No.
cap hit.
Writing's on the wall. No writing's on the wall.
Yeah.
What you got planned today? What are you doing?
Well, I plan on throwing some powder everywhere. It's I'm Indian, so it's a big festival of ours. So I'm going to be doing that in a couple hours. So I'll be all
Nice.
colorful.
I'm gonna be going to an Indian wedding in a few weeks. My sister-in-law is getting married, so I'm gonna be down at an Indian wedding in late.
Make sure you
April.
post some pics on
I will.
Twitter.
I will. I'm not gonna be wearing the whole Indian garb because
so happy.
I think I'll look ridiculous, but I'll be there. I'll be doing everything else though.
Good.
And they're down in Riverside, which is hot. So really, yeah, I'm gonna be wearing probably just like an Adidas tracksuit. No, I'm just kidding. I'll I'll be very respectful. Don't worry.
Good.
I'll
Yeah,
see you around, man.
we're in the opposite spectrum. My wife isn't Indian either, so
okay.
So I get it.
Okay. Okay. All right, man. Have a good one.
You too.
All right. Darius, what's up?
What's up, man?
Good to see you again. How you doing, man?
Good. So, so the whole thing yesterday, I was actually in class when the trade went
Okay.
down, and I had my camera off and my mic off, so I absolutely just popped off in class, and then it got me thinking, where do you think Jimmy's confidence is at? Because ever since we lost the Super Bowl, the fan base and the media has just been crushing him. And like I understand,
And
like
you
he
wonder
has,
what he's hearing internally. Like, what do they say
yeah,
privately? What do they say
because like
privately?
I understand it's like you got Kittle, coming out publicly defending his good friend at this point. And you got other players like helping him out, working with him and stuff like this. But it's like, and you got the coaching staff who's mostly on his side. But the fans speak louder than your coaches and your teammates because they're the ones who are on Twitter and in the media consistently bombarding you. And I think just a straight full off season in summer, especially going through the pandemic, of just getting bashed by your fan base really affected his play.
I agree.
Coming into last season, because
I agree.
2019, everybody was hyping him up, and he was playing very good for most of it. But coming in this past season, he just wasn't there. And then we traded for the third pick. We're likely going to get a quarterback, and then that makes it even more likely he's gone.
Mhm.
So I was like thinking about like, and I'm guilty of it as well. Jimmy is probably not in like the best mental state, and I do like that nowadays he's in the gym.
Mhm.
He's trying to work on his mentality to get back out there and show the fan base what we saw in him in 2017 and most of 2019. But I was thinking, like, where do you think he is personally as a player?
I don't know. I haven't been around him, but I think what you could say is that he needs to get the hell out of Santa Clara. That it's a toxic environment for him. For whatever reason, they make him feel like he's inadequate and he's no good. And when he was in New England, they made him feel like he was special. Like he was good enough to be Tom Brady's heir apparent. Imagine if someone said that about you. Hey, man, you're so good that you're going to be the heir apparent to someone who's the greatest of all time at something. That'd be really heady. And they're telling you that at 23, 24, and you believe it. And then you get shipped across the country to a new team, and they tell you, dude, you suck. You suck, and you're disappointing. I think from New England's perspective, they could look at that and be like, you know what? Jimmy just needs someone to say that they believe in him. Jimmy just needs someone to he just needs a boost of confidence. We can give him that. I mean, when Bill Belichick says, I believe in you, that carries serious weight. It's Bill Belichick. So I think from the Patriots' perspective, he's fixable in that sense.
Yeah. Because like, again, like Kyle in a sense is like McVay, where he doesn't like necessarily nurture Jimmy. He'll criticize Jimmy and stuff, but he'll make sure he'll do his best to make sure Jimmy knows what's up, knows everything. And like even the whole thing with when they were talking about Mullins knows the playbook better than Jimmy, even Mullins is like, you're still the better quarterback. You know this offense more. I know the playbook, you know the players and the offense more.
Sure.
So like it was that thing. So it's like, so that's my thing about it. And I've been saying since I started looking into the draft that Wilson is the best quarterback for Kyle.
Zach Wilson? Zach Wilson?
Yeah, Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
He's the best quarterback for Kyle and what he wants to do, because I feel like Kyle looks at what the Cardinals and Seahawks are doing and he says our offense can fit that as well. So I think I've been saying that Zach Wilson is his pick if he can get it. But I also said, like, I do think we played a part in Jimmy's like kind of down season, and not to say that it's the whole reason, because he readily admits he played poorly.
Mm-hmm.
And he got injured pretty early on. But I do feel like we have to take a bit accountability for just not like helping him feel confident in himself as a player, because that's when, as a football player, you start to doubt yourself, and you got to make sure and when you're doubting yourself, you lead to injury. So.
Darius, I 100% agree. That's a great call and a great point. No one's made it. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, no problem.
Have a good one, man. All right, we got a few minutes left. I'm going to take 4 more calls. The people who've been waiting. John, what's up?
Hey, Grant, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Calling all the way from Mexico.
Oh, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate it.
Love your show. Been watching for quite a few months.
Well, thank you so much.
So, okay, I'll get right into it. I know you're in the bottom line to finish your show. So here it is. I've been thinking this is a splash move, of course. I mean, for assets. So I'm thinking why they do this.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see the point regarding Mac Jones. It really does seem like the guy Shanahan wants, definitely. But the higher upside is on Trey Lance. So thinking, why give me all those assets to draft Mac Jones? It doesn't really make sense. It's it's the kind of decision that gets you fired eventually. At least for John.
Agree.
Okay, so I'm thinking this is not the last move they're gonna make in the draft before they pick. I don't think they're gonna pick anyone with 3 because I don't think they're gonna be picking Mac Jones at 3. I think they will eventually pick Mac Jones. But they're definitely gonna trade down. But the reason they spend so much capital going all the way to 3 is because I believe everyone from 4 to, let's say, 8, they were blocking them. They were dealing with them.
Of course.
They will deal with anyone else, but not the Niners because they know the Niners want a quarterback. It's the worst kept secret in the league. They don't have Jimmy. They just don't. So I'm thinking, okay, they did this. They're at 3. And well, the Bengals did the Dolphins did they're not at 6. So okay, maybe they trade down to, let's say, 5, or maybe they trade down with Atlanta, or they trade with Carolina. Carolina gets Trey Lance, something like a Cam Newton 2.0 for them.
Yes.
And at 8, you can draft him. You can justify drafting Mac Jones.
That makes sense. Trade down one more time for Mac Jones. Now you end up getting some assets back. I think that's really clever. It makes more. I like that better than just taking Jones at 3. And I think Jones is the best quarterback of the options there. That's brilliant.
On the very least for Kyle.
That's brilliant.
And that's the thing. Every move they had made so far in free agency says they're all in for 2021. If that's the point, you definitely go with a quarterback that is NFL ready.
Yes.
And Trey Lance is not that.
Yes.
Not at all.
Yes.
And if you factor it in that Kyle's offense is not that easy to really grasp, you definitely don't take Trey Lance if you're all in 2021. Because, I mean, they might keep Jimmy for a season, but how comfortable is going to be Jimmy to give it all his 100%?
Yeah.
For the one last year he got remaining here.
Yeah.
I really don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, someone with a huge heart, maybe. Jimmy doesn't strike me to be a courageous fella that goes through adversity. Not really. Not anymore. I thought so in 2017 I was in love with the guy.
Agree.
After watching bad football for plenty of years. Well, that's it, Grant. You got a lot of people to get into.
I do. John, great call, man. That was fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Grant.
Appreciate it. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too.
All right. Hey, Jose, how you doing?
I'm doing good. About yourself, Grant?
I'm doing great. What's on your mind?
Hey, before I say anything, I just want to say appreciate you for having me on, man. Coming from Sacramento, California. You know what I'm saying? Repping the 916 pimp. How you doing, though, by the way?
I can't complain, man. I'm down here in Oakland having a good day, chilling. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm just on my lunch break right now, so I'm just chilling. There's one thing I wanted to mention that I don't think you've mentioned since we made this trade that I'm shocked you haven't, because he was like a guy you've been talking about for a while now. Since we're talking about Trey Lance and Justin Fields, why is no one mentioning Kellen Mond? I'm not saying that he's a real possibility, but I'm just saying if we're going to talk about Trey Lance and Justin Fields and all these other guys, why not Kellen Mond? I mean, especially you, because I know you've been like the biggest Kellen Mond guy that I've heard of. So,
I prefer Kellen Mond to both Lance and Fields. And then when Chris Sims came out and said the same thing, I was like, wow, I'm so vindicated. Oh my God. He agrees. He sees what I see. It's just that I wouldn't trade up to number 3.
No,
Mond.
Of course not.
I wouldn't have traded up to number 3 at all in this draft, honestly. And I'm a little skeptical. Like, okay, Kyle, like I know you're gonna really like someone and you might make it work, but I don't know, man.
I think it's just so crazy that John Lynch. I don't know how your show is monetized or not, but I hope you don't like, I don't know what you're allowed to say on here, but I'm just
Please
surprised
don't
that.
curse.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm just surprised he had the balls to make a move like this.
Okay,
Because
you can say that. You can say balls.
okay, because
Right.
yeah, John Lynch, he's never been the type of guy to really make moves. He's been the one trade back guy. He'll trade back one spot, but he's never been the guy to really make that win now all in move. I guess besides like D Ford was like a win now type of move.
Yeah.
But I was just surprised that we went from 12 to 3 and gave up 2 first rounds and a future third. I mean, this is the biggest trade I think I can ever remember the 49ers ever doing. And also too, I mean, Wilson, I think, is the only guy, at least right now, in my opinion, that Kyle Shanahan would want tomorrow. But a lot of reports are saying that he's kind of locked in as the number 2 guy in New York. And I like Fields, even though me personally, I don't like Ohio State and Alabama quarterbacks because they never work out. Even though Justin Fields is probably the best Ohio State quarterback that's came out. If you pulled my arm and you told me I had to choose between Justin Fields and Trey Lance, because let's say Wilson goes to the Jets, I mean, I guess I'll take Trey Lance only because of the fact he does a pro style offense out there in North Dakota. He makes those line adjustments, protection calls, and he takes the ball under center, which obviously we know Kyle loves. But he also does have some mobility, just like a Justin Fields.
Yep. So what do you think
Also,
they do?
You said what?
What do you think they do ultimately?
Man, I honestly couldn't tell you, man. I mean, because Kyle and John are just so like, once you think you have them pegged, they do something different. So if I was to take a swing, I'd say Trey Lance. Just because he's kind of been the favorite, and also because I think Justin Fields is too spread dependent because of Ohio State quarterbacks. It's always been kind of give it to a drag route, give it to a slant, and let them run 90 yards for a touchdown. So, I mean, it's just not enough under center, I think, for Kyle to make that type of move. Also, too, man, if you don't mind, huge fan of the show, by the way, too. I started watching last off season. And then if you would like to, I mean, I don't know what your schedule is. If you would like to maybe have some phone conversations, what I mean, or maybe I have my own podcast. If you would like to join.
Let's do it, man. Let's find a time in the next few weeks. Let's definitely do it before the draft.
On that, is your Facebook your actual Facebook page?
I don't usually use Facebook that much. I hear email me, grantcohn@gmail.com.
grantcohn@gmail.com? Awesome.
Yeah, one word.
I'll do that.
All right, we'll link up soon
day.
for sure, man. Good stuff. Mark, I seen you sitting there for like an hour and a half, man. How you doing?
It's all right. I just like watching the show, and I'm picking up things as I go along. But I have a conspiracy theory.
Okay.
I know you're good.
I love those. Yeah,
I know. Okay, I'm going to make an assumption first, and then set up a question for you.
Okay.
I think the trade is set already with the Jets to get Zach.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Okay.
Wow.
And here's what it comes down to. They need to raise the value of Jimmy to at least get a second from New England.
Yes.
But I think New England's hot on Mac Jones too, which brings me to this. You notice, what did Sims and Silver say? Kyle loves Mac Jones.
Yes.
So they got to make Bill think that Kyle's moving up there for maybe Mac Jones, or at the very least, it makes more sense to use Jimmy, to keep Jimmy as a bridge for Trey and Fields than it is for Zach Wilson. In other words, they draft Zach Wilson. He's a starter, in my opinion. So I think they're holding off. I think the trade is set, and I think they're holding off to get Bill to bite on giving him at least a second for Jimmy. What do you think?
I think that makes a lot of sense. Who do you want? Jimmy? Okay, we're not trading. Who do you want? Mac Jones? Okay, we're taking Mac Jones.
Right.
Everything is to get the most value possible for Jimmy Garoppolo. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. That's how the industry works. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
I know. But anyway, hey, love the show. Keep it rolling. Thanks
so much for
you got to do 2 bums in a pod here soon too, because
man, I've been reaching out to Ryan. He said that
Ryan got to get together.
Hey man, tell Ryan to hit me up. He keeps saying that there's construction at his house and he can't do it.
Yeah,
I'm ready to go. Ryan,
you know what I like about you too is that he's really he studies like all the teams and exactly what they want, but you're good at figuring out personalities. And I love when you two get together, because when you bring both those together, I think you guys are going to come up with the exact thing that happens.
Tell him to hit me. Every week I'm like, are we good? He's like, no, we still got construction over there. So
oh yeah, you got to get
soon.
together now.
Hopefully soon, man. I love Ryan. All right, great to see you, Mark.
All right,
take care. All right, we got Ethan, then King Giovanni, and then the iTest Sports, and then we're done. Ethan, what's up?
What's up, Grant? How you doing?
Good. How are you, man?
Doing all right. I'm not very excited about the trade, though.
Why?
Gave up way too much. I think they could have traded back if they wanted Mac Jones, and I think he'd be better than Fields.
Agreed.
And
I want to come on YouTube and be like a wet blanket, but I was like yesterday, I was like, okay, we'll talk about it in the future, but let's not rain on their parade yet. But I think today's fair. It's fair game.
Yes, today's fair.
Yeah, today's fair.
Yes.
I mean, how much pressure are you putting on one kid?
Yeah, I don't know who's going to be able to handle it. Like, that's tough.
Yeah, I think save the franchise.
I think you can't go Fields either. I think you got to go. You got to go Trey Lance. He has the highest potential. I mean, if you're going to trade, you got to do.
He also has the lowest floor. My God, he could get a lot of people fired. I wouldn't have the guts to do it, but if the Niners do, I mean,
if they made this trade already, I feel like there's nothing to lose. Like, if you're gonna, you need to draft him.
Right. You need to do something because hanging on and to Jimmy Garoppolo could get you fired too. So take a mighty cut at it, see what happens. I'm with you.
You think they'll trade him, Jimmy?
Not if it's Trey Lance. If it's Trey Lance, they need a starter because Trey Lance is not ready to play, dude. So
what if they wanted someone like Alex Smith though? He's way cheaper.
I would love that. I don't know if Alex Smith wants to come back to the Niners. I think he has some ill will towards him. Some bad feelings towards him. I'm not sure. But yeah.
Different coaching staff though too.
Yeah, definitely a different coaching staff, but the same ownership group, the same culture. Kyle talked about that Alex talked about that in the past. I would say go for Alex Smith. Just got to see if he's open and willing.
I think if they were looking to do this trade, they should have signed Mitchell Trubisky before he went to the Bills.
Yeah, I like Trubisky. He's cheap.
Way cheaper.
Way cheap.
I think you can get a second or third for Jimmy.
But as the previous caller said, I think they're trying to do what they can to trade Jimmy and pump up his value. So they're not quite getting what they want yet. They'll wait.
It's a waiting game.
Yeah. Where are you calling from?
New York.
You Jewish?
My mom is.
Yeah. Hey, see, I can tell because I'm Jewish too. Hey, good stuff. Appreciate it.
I'm not really either religion.
Yeah, it's all right. Where in New York calling from?
Bronx.
Oh, nice, man. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, have a good day.
You too. Can I ask you one question?
Yeah, of course.
How did you get into this industry? Because I wanna be something like this when I'm older.
You know, my dad was in it, so I grew up around it. It was something that I was aware of as a little kid, and basically, my dad and I started a blog when I was in college. I majored in English Lit, which I would say if you could major in journalism or English, I would say do English. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 18. I'm at 40.
Okay, yeah. University. I would say for me, English was just more useful because you actually learn what good writing is, as opposed to journalism, which is I think you can teach yourself in a week. So but that's just where I came from. Anyway, you're at Fordham?
Yes, sir.
Nice, man. Have a great time. Are you actually get to go to classes yet? I feel bad for college students.
No, but I'm only here because I'm on the baseball team.
Oh, snap, dude, you're good.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But I'm injured right now, so
a Jewish baseball player. That's raw. Have you been on the show before? Have we talked before?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we have. Okay, I remember you. All right, well, thanks for coming back. It's good to see you. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
All right, for sure. All right, we got King Giovanni and then iTest Sports, and then I'm out. King, are you still there? Oh, you're in the other one. Hold on, I see you. Oh, I see you. What's up? What's up?
Yeah. What's
How you
going
doing,
on,
man?
Calling from LA, man.
Oh yeah, cool. What's up?
Still some Niner faithful down here, even though the Rams, they're trying to come take some of our fans away.
Not a lot of Rams fans down there, are there?
Nah, not really. The SoFi is going to be filled with red and gold real soon. But yeah, as far as the third pick, I'm probably one of the guys that's still holding out some type of hope that we can even though this might be out of left field, I'm still hoping that we can even go back for A-Rod at some point, either Aaron Rodgers or Deshaun Watson, honestly, because I felt like we should have stayed at 12 and went for J.C. Horn maybe, but
yeah.
Since we moved up, if you want to make a power move, I say just make an actual power move instead of going for one of these top 3 college quarterbacks. I say just go get a proven veteran and let's see what we can do from there because we're clearly in win now with all these 1-year deals that we got going.
It's funny. When they made this deal, the first thing that popped in my head was, well, I guess they're never going to get Kirk Cousins. I feel like they've been waiting forever for him, and this is finally the Niners saying we're not waiting anymore. We've made a decision. And I don't know if it's the right decision, but at least they made one.
Right.
Yeah. Waiting for Kirk Cousins, dude. That is just a horrible move.
But I haven't been as down on Kirk as everybody else, but I think it's finally time that it's like, all right, let that go so we can finally move forward.
Kirk Cousins is the kind of quarterback where you can appreciate him if he's like the quarterback for some other team, but if he's your quarterback, you're like, no, anyone else. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just my input as far as the third, like that we moved up for third. I was hoping that we can get the proven veteran, but we'll see what happens.
A lot to give up for the third pick in the draft, dude. A lot to give up for the third pick in the draft. What are you doing today in LA? What's popping in LA today?
Oh man, heading out to Santa Monica, man. Go have some drinks and we'll see what happens.
I'm jealous, man. I'm jealous. I was down in LA about a month ago. Stayed at the W in Westwood with my wife. It was nice. Have you been to the W in Westwood? There's a really nice backyard eating area.
Yeah.
Hella nice.
Sunset and man, it's nice. A lot of hotel parties there.
All right, man. Well, have a great day. Thanks for calling in. All right. Before I take the last call, Vincent said, "What if? Hear me out. The Niners aren't so confident in their abilities for the next 2 years. Trade up just to trade down to low-tier team to obtain their first-round pick the next 2 years. I don't know, man. That's 3D chess, 4D chess right there. I test sports. It's been a while. How you been? Uh-oh. You're muted. Press the little thing. The little there you go.
Yeah,
let's talk.
Yeah, I gotta get used to this stuff. Let me get in the car. That way the sun isn't.
You're the last call of the day, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you for doing that, man.
For sure.
Thank you.
Of course.
Let's get started. I guess the elephant in the room. Of course, Dolphin 49er fans. So just to give you the insights of what they're saying in Dolphin land, they're basically saying they fleeced the 49ers. You feel me? For all the picks, and the fact that they still had enough picks and enough wherewithal to move back up and get the 6th pick.
Yeah.
So they really didn't lose much, and they gained a whole lot. So let's look at it from the 49ers aspect. As a fan, I agree with the aggressiveness, but I'm still puzzled about the plan. Yeah. Now let's break down the 4 quarterbacks. Trey Lance is super athletic, uber talented, high ceiling, but a project.
Yep.
You trade all that for a project. All right. Mac Jones seems out of the 3, the day 1 starter, but you trade all that for Mac Jones.
Is he even better than Josh Rosen? Yeah.
Is he even incrementally better? He's just incrementally better, maybe, than Jimmy Garoppolo. I see a lateral movement there.
Yeah.
And if you draft Justin Fields, that's Cam Newton. When I'm really kind of looking at it, and I'm like, do you move heaven and earth for Cam Newton? Especially when you see where the league is going. Like, accuracy matters more than all the athleticism in the world. Like Lamar Jackson, until he gets his passing down, he's not going to be a viable option for them. So that leaves you with let me see, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Mac Jones, and Zach Wilson. Now, my hope is, because I heard you yesterday, you said
they might go up one more time. Yeah,
that's it. They just had to get that number 3 so that the Jets didn't feel like, man, we can't go back to 12. Like, if you could move up, just tell them like you told them yesterday, look, we moved up to 3. You won't be losing much. Let us get Zach. You got no use for him. You're doing Sam Darnold. So let us get that. Hey, Salah. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, do us a solid, man. Come on. So that would be my plan. Other than that, bro, you move too much for me for one of these quarterbacks. I would go, and I know no one's gonna agree with it. I would go best talent available on the board, and I know it's a lot to give up for number 3, but I'm looking at Kyle Pitts, because I'm looking at Kyle Pitts and George Kittle in that offense. And yes, the trigger man is going to matter. If Jimmy's there, it might not work, but to give up that amount of assets for these quarterbacks, the only option I see is what you said, is them moving up for Zach Wilson, or I would go uber talented ball player. I'm not touching these quarterbacks.
Because what you're saying is there's no right answer at 3. If you
it's an enigma. It's like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, what would I do? Like, I do like the Trey Lance aspect of it. but that's a project, and you gotta hit.
Yes.
Because if you don't hit,
that's
you
your
just
ass.
set your franchise back. Forget that.
Forget your franchise. You set your career back. You're not getting fired, and you're not getting the job again.
You're done. You're done. So you're banking a lot on one pick, and it has to go right. So, like I'm saying, like, bro, it got to be either that Zach Wilson play, or I know no one likes it, but I love Jamar Chase and I love Pitts, and I'm just thinking of what our offense could look like, especially with all the injuries we've been having. Those two guys are durable.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So
imagine
I know
Pitts and Kittle in the same offense.
It's craziness to me. Like when I think about it, I'm like, bro, if that ever happened, but that was too much to trade up for number 3. So I know they're not going position. They're going quarterback. Like there's no way. So now I'm just stuck like y'all, just watching to see. Are we?
It's good to know though that if people in Miami feel they fleeced the Niners. It's good to know.
Oh yeah, they're high-fiving, they're celebrating, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, they really didn't lose much. But again, I've watched this organization forever. It's like giving a fool money. There's no telling what they're going to spend it on. So it really doesn't matter, because I've been looking at them for years. Like, what did you really spend all your 3 first-round draft picks on? You got Tua, Austin Jackson, and Igbenogany. Igbenogany is on special teams. Austin Jackson is in and out the lineup. And Tua, you already ready to get rid of him. So it's giving a fool money. He ain't going to spend it right. So now
both of these teams may have lost this trade.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what makes it hilarious. The last time I talked to you, it was like I had no idea these were the 2 teams that'll be.
Yeah.
So you just gotta wait and see. But appreciate you again, Grant. Man, love your show. Hey, you working hard, bro.
Thanks, man. Thanks, man.
You working hard, bro.
I appreciate it, dude.
Appreciate you,
I'm glad you're coming through. You always you kill it, man. I was looking forward to seeing you again, and I'll see you in the future. Have a great day in Miami.
Again, man, if that don't work out with you and the other guy, I would love to be a regular on your show, man. Like,
hey,
for
man,
real,
hey, absolutely. Why don't you email me? I don't know if we can do a regular thing, but we could do a thing and see how it goes.
Do that, man.
All right, man.
Take
email
it
me
light,
at
be easy.
Grant Cohn at Gmail.
Grant
Are you
Cohn
on Twitter?
All right. Yeah, but I don't really check.
All right.
I
just
do the
email me.
Instagram, the Twitter, and the Gmail. I got you, bro.
All right, cool.
Take it light. Be safe, man.
Yeah, you too, man. iTest Sports. He's a star. Guys, thank you so much. This is 2 hours and 15 minutes, by far the longest live stream I've ever done. I'm done for the day. I got a lot of stuff I gotta do today. So peace. I'll be back. I'll see you soon. Lynch and Shanahan talking on Monday. A lot of stuff to look forward to. Take care.